presents Bears 19, Vikings 17. That, ladies and gentlemen, your first place Chicago Bears at the moment at 7-3. I think I heard him called more than once this week the worst 7-3 team of all time.
Somebody posted the Jack Sparrow meme. The Jack Sparrow meme. It was like, "You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of." It was like, "But you have heard of me." It was like,
"But you have heard of me."
Yes, you're the worst 7-3 team in history. But we are 7-3. Welcome to Dem Boyz, a podcast that's building the whole pass rush out of defensive tackles. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of Who Dat and one fan of Dat Win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
This week, our patron Saint/Cowboy, now that they're both off of their bye weeks, is Don Talbert. Don Talbert attended Texas City High School. He played both football and basketball. And Brandon, I believe this is a first for the show. I think this is our first University of Texas alum who is a patron Saint/Cowboy.
I think so.
So shout out to him. He played college football at UT Austin. He was a two-way tackle, 3-year letterman. He did miss the 1958 season with a broken leg. As a fifth-year senior in 1961, he was named All-Southwest Conference, All-American, and was voted Outstanding Southwest Conference Lineman in the Dallas Times-Herald. He helped Texas win co-conference championships twice, tying Alabama in the 1960 Blue Bonnet Bowl and winning the 1962 Cotton Bowl Classic. Longhorns finished the 1961 season ranked number 3, best final ranking since 1950. In 1992, Mr. Talbert was inducted into the Longhorns Hall of Honor. Professionally speaking, Talbert was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 8th round, 100th overall, 1961 NFL draft, with a future draft pick, which allowed the team to draft him before his college eligibility was over. He was also selected by the Houston Oilers in the 34th round, 271st overall, of the 1962 AFL draft. As a rookie in 1962, although he played as a defensive end and linebacker, he was mostly the backup at right offensive tackle. Got a chance to start in 4 games. Talbert was in the reserve officer program at Texas, had to miss the next 2 seasons because of military service in the Vietnam War, where he was a police lieutenant in Saigon. He returned to the team in 1965, played all 14 games as a backup. 1966, he is selected by the Atlanta Falcons in the expansion draft. He was the franchise's first starter at left tackle. He was a 3-year starter, and then on July 3rd of 1969, he is traded with Errol Linden to the Saints in exchange for offensive lineman Roy Schmidt, Jim Ferguson, and Jerry Jones. I'm guessing not that Jerry Jones.
Probably not that Jerry Jones.
Okay. That would have been something. When I was putting this together, I was like,
I'm gonna have to go ahead and research this now.
I did a quick search, and I couldn't confirm that it was that Jerry Jones. But while you're doing that, Talbert was a 2-year starter at left tackle for the Saints. On August 2nd, 1971, he was traded to the Cowboys in exchange for defensive end Doug Moore and a 4th round draft choice. Number 104, which turned into Eric Allen, which again I don't think it's that. It's not that Eric.
Not the Eric Allen. We got a lot of not that one.
Not that one. Yeah. In 1971, he was backup, replacing until he replaced Ralph Neely in the starting lineup at left tackle in the 8th game. Neely having been in a motorcycle accident. Albert promptly sprained his ankle and was first replaced with Forrest Gregg and later Tony Liscio. Nonetheless, he was a part of the Super Bowl VI winning team. September 7th, 1972, he is waived, and he was later put on the future list where he remained for the rest of the season. He re-signed in 1973, was waived on September 5th, placed on the team taxi squad before being waived again on September 19th. Talbert was selected by the Chicago Fire, 6th round, 64th overall, the 1974 WFL Pro Draft of NFL and CFL players. He was then signed by the Houston Texans, not those Houston Texans, And after playing 11 games, the team relocated to Shreveport, Louisiana on September 18th of 1974. They were renamed the Shreveport Steamers.
Not to be confused with the Cleveland Steamers.
Yeah, geez. Moving. Both of Don's brothers would play college football at Texas as well. Charlie was a two-way starter at defensive end and receiver. He was the leading receiver of the 1963 National Championship team. His younger brother, Deron Talbert, played defensive tackle in the NFL for the Rams and the Redskins and was inducted into the Longhorn Hall of Honor in 2005 after being named All-Southwest Conference. What you got, buddy?
So I can confirm it is not that Jerry Jones. This Jerry Jones went to Bowling Green.
Okay. Yeah, not Arkansas.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny because Don Talbert started with the Cowboys and then went to the Falcons and Saints and then came back to Dallas and won their first Super Bowl with them. So he made it back in time for the first Super Bowl championship.
Yeah. So the reason I selected him initially is he is the oldest patron saint Cowboy we've had. In other words, if you go to Pro Football Reference, look up various, team players who played for various franchises. You do Saints and Cowboys, and then you sort it by year. Don Talbert's the first name that comes up. But he had a very interesting life. Served in Vietnam, I can, again, based on what I saw online, he's still with us, 86 years young. So a salute to you, Mr. Talbert. If you're hearing this, hope all is well with you. And thank you for your service, and thank you for being our patron saint / Cowboy of the week. I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brendan, the Cowboys fan.
We're your host, and now a message from our sponsor, Izzy. All right. Go time it is. And let's get a few housekeeping items out of the way first. If you want to contact the show, you could do so. You know the email by now, blessdemboys@gmail.com. BLESSDEMBOYZ. We are on X, bless_dem_boys. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. Brandon's at Ball from Grace. Still on Blue Sky? Have you checked Blue Sky this week?
Let me check. Oh, we did get a new YouTube subscriber today.
Hey!
So, big shout out. Maybe our video about Horn versus Horn, the tale of two dicks, was what brought him in.
Well, welcome aboard. When you sent me that video, Tale of Two Dicks, I'm like, is that the story of this podcast?
Man. Okay, so no new followers on Blue Sky, but we are still there.
Okay, well, we're all right. Well, onward and upward. If you're checking us out here on YouTube, thanks for being here, folks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button while you're here. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple. Leave a rating or review. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots. Remember, bots are
tell any former football players who are named Dick.
Yeah, we got a couple more this week, but
there was I almost did another one for the Cowboys Eagles matchup because there's one on that one too.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
We can
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. We definitely have a couple more to talk about. But before we get to the football and all that good stuff, we here at Bless Them Boys, we do pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things.
Oh, I'm supposed to do a drop there, aren't I?
But enough about fish.
Like a homeless man or a horse. I'm a little rusty.
We
should have got some collateral, like his bag of cans or his other bag of cans.
All right, buddy. What shenanigans you get up to?
I finally got through the busiest part of my work season this week. It finally ended. So this was basically just after Friday. It was finally just a breath of fresh air. So my brother-in-law came into town. So on Saturday, we did dinner with him and the in-laws over at my wife's parents' house. We had some chicken wings from a Korean place. So they had like 3 flavors. They had one that was like gochujang, which is kind of like a spicy. Yes.
Was it banchan?
It was not banchan. It was not banchan. I don't think so. I will work on getting the name of it because I can't. It's like escaping me right now.
No, that's fine.
But we had that. So they
banchan is really good.
Yeah, they had like no, it was GMAC. So CHIMAC.
GMAC Jones.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all.
It was good. It wasn't. They had like a lemon pepper flavor, and I would say that the Pluckers lemon pepper still head and shoulders above all competition at this point. So,
gotcha.
But it was solid.
Gotcha.
So we did that. We hung out with them another day as well, and then we had we went to a birthday party, which was Huntrix themed. So we did that. So Huntrix themed Huntrix, which is the bands from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, okay.
And then I introduced the kids to a couple of classics. I introduced them to Shrek, the original Shrek.
All right.
So got them into that, which I think they enjoyed. My oldest really liked that, so she enjoyed that, especially because she's seen Mulan, and so she knew. I was able to say like, "Hey, Mushu, that's Donkey over here, so that's Eddie Murphy." So she liked that, and then I also showed him an episode of Animaniacs, the original show. You an Animaniacs guy? I loved Animaniacs. And so that was also a big hit with the oldest because, it's kind of like absurdist and a lot of like puns and like visual gags and stuff that's just like ridiculous. And so that was also a big hit. That's basically all I got up to. And then the other thing was finally catching up on sleep, which I have not been getting very much of lately. So there was that.
Right.
What about you, Paul?
Yeah, that all sounds good. So took a trip to Louisiana. Took my oldest. So I think I've mentioned on the show before, my father passed away in 2023, and his wishes were to donate his body to science. So he did that, and we got his ashes back because he was cremated, and so we had a little service for him. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my dad. He would have been 81 December 19th. So he part of the reason I'm into sports the way I am is because of him. So figured I'd give him a shout out here.
We gotta give him a shout out for what I remember is you've always told the story about the Jags Saints game where they pulled off the miracle play to score the touchdown with no time left.
Yeah, that anniversary is coming up. Yeah, and he came in. Yeah, he comes in. So he had been outside. He didn't see the play. He comes in. I'm sitting on I'm sitting in the living room watching. I said, "Yeah, man, you got to watch this replay, Pop." And he's like, "They'll miss the extra point." It's sure enough. John Carney boots it to the right, and that was that. So shout out to my dad. But yeah, so got to see my mom, my sister, some time with them, and my oldest came along with me. So that was a nice little trip. From a movie standpoint, Criterion Challenge still going. From the horror category, I did watch. Oh, actually, shout out to everybody who participated in my poll on Twitter about what my 1,000th. So I should clarify, and I tried to clarify this on Twitter, but I was under the impression I was going to log my 1,000th movie on Letterboxd, but it was actually my 1,000th diary entry, which is a little different. So like anytime if you like log a movie twice, that counts as a diary entry. You can log the same movie, 10 times or whatever. So it's not my 1,000th film, but it was my 1,000th diary entries, and was Dressed to Kill. Which
how many? Do you know how many? Do you know how many that you have before you get to 1,000 movies now?
Yeah, no, I've got. It's a good question. I want to say I'm less than 30. I'm in like the 970s. I want to say now. So, I should get there. Yeah, maybe by the end of this year. I don't know, but we'll see. But Dress to Kill is a Brian De Palma film. If you know movies like Scarface, Untouchables, Body Double, Brian De Palma,
Body Double. I think the thing I associate that with is American Psycho. Have you ever?
Yeah.
So
yep.
he.
No, I'm aware of. I've seen American Psycho, but it's been a while. That's actually on my list to revisit that.
So I read the book in high school, and like,
okay,
if you the book makes the movie look like Disney Pixar. Let me tell you,
really?
Like, yeah, it is rough, buddy.
They are apparently remaking the movie. I've heard. There have been different rumors about they're going to switch the lead role to a female. I've heard
that before.
Yeah.
But there was but anyway, like the thing with Body Double is that Patrick Bateman, the main character, like constantly rents that movie and is not the master of his domain during one particular scene that he watches over repetitively.
Well, I tell you what, but if you watch Dress to Kill, it'd be similar because like I had heard of this movie. So basically, the movie I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. I don't want to spoil too much, but basically, I heard it described by Quentin Tarantino as a paraphrased sequel or paraphrased remake of Psycho. So if you've seen Psycho and you kind of know the beats of that movie, Just to Kill is very similar in terms of those beats, but throw in De Palma's, for lack of a better phrase, horniness. Like if you've seen Body Double, you know that he's he's got a thing. He's out there.
He's out there. He's out there, buddy. He's loving it, and he's loving every minute of it.
But yeah, I definitely would recommend Dress to Kill. It's not. So it stars Michael Caine, which was I didn't realize that. Like I before the movie started, I was like, oh, Michael Caine's in this movie. Okay, cool.
Michael Caine.
Angie Dickinson. I'm trying to remember. Nancy Allen, who was folks. If you've seen the movies, she's been in a couple other De Palma movies. She was in Blowout, and she was in Carrie, the Stephen King adaptation.
Like Stephen King one.
Yeah. She's one of the girls who picks on Sissy Spacek's titular character in that movie.
Titular.
Titular.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah. And then the next category was Asian film. And I watched Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon, which is a movie I've heard a lot about. It's basically, if you've ever seen a movie in which the same story is told from multiple perspectives, this is the movie that they're cribbing from. Because that's basically what this movie is. It's the story of a bandit who comes upon a samurai and his wife, and the story of what happens between those three people is told from four different perspectives. So there's the bandit's perspective, the wife's perspective, the samurai's perspective, and then this gentleman who comes upon the scene after what has happened, and basically, so like his perspective as well. So, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It is black and white. It is in Japanese, so just be prepared if you're
get the monocle out.
Got a little, yep. Yeah, a little fancy Pooh Bear meme going here, but
when you told me the title, I thought it was Jamaican because it's Rashomon.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
the remake.
Yeah, right. And then yesterday, so as we're recording this, yesterday, November 17th, was the birthday of Martin Scorsese, who I'm sure most people know who Martin Scorsese is. He's directed some of the best films of the last 40, 50 years. So in honor of his birthday, I've seen most of his movies, but I decided to revisit one that I haven't seen in a while, Gangs of New York. Definitely not his best movie.
That's with Daniel Day-Lewis, right?
Yep, Daniel Day-Lewis plays Billy the Butcher. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a character named Amsterdam. And Cameron Diaz has a really terrible Irish accent. And
there we go.
Yeah. Also has John C. Reilly. Who else is in it? Liam Neeson is in it.
Cameron Diaz also in Shrek, by the way.
She is, yeah. Princess Fiona. Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, so the thing with Gangs of New York, like I said, it's not Scorsese's best movie, but like even a bad Scorsese movie is still a good
movie.
Decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's like bad pizza, right?
Right. Exactly.
Pizza.
It's like, yeah, it's like, so yeah, I would definitely check that out. And then I did want to mention, I did continue with episode 3 of Pluribus. I don't want to say too much because I know you're.
No, you gotta wait for me to cue that one up.
And then one more movie that I'll mention is Eddie and the Cruisers. So I've mentioned the Rewatchables podcast on our show, and this is a movie that they continue to bring up, like they want to do an episode on. But the problem is it's not streaming anywhere. So I one day was just like looking around trying to find it. And lo and behold, on YouTube TV, it came up because it was going to air on TCM, on Turner Classic Movies. So I just went ahead and recorded it. And so I was able to watch that recording over the weekend. And
gotcha.
Yeah, it's really good. So it's Ellen Barkin, who if you know who Ellen Barkin is, she's something, buddy. You might want to check her out. But she plays a journalist who is trying to do a story on a band that was very popular like 15, 20 years prior. Had a very successful first album. And then as they were recording the second album, the lead singer, Eddie, mysteriously dies. And so she's trying to interview the former members of the band and also uncover, like, basically the tapes of the second album's recording got lost. So she's also trying to bring those to light as well. And Tom Berenger he was the keyboardist in the band. He is now teaching like high school English. And so a lot of the movie's kind of told through flashbacks. It also stars Joseph Pantoliano, Joey Pants, who's you might know from movies like The Matrix, Memento.
He's the guy who's like the betrayal guy in The Matrix who like gets his steak. Yeah. That's like the scene that I like associate him
Cypher?
with most. Yeah,
his name's Cypher. Right. Yeah,
that sounds right.
So, yeah, but he's been in a ton of movies. He's a that guy actor. Like he's like the prototypical that guy actor. But yeah, I mean, I wrote this. So when I logged it on Letterboxd and I kind of wrote a little review. And in my review, I was like, it's a shame that this movie's not more readily available because it's really good. Number one, the music's really good, and yeah, it's just a good movie. So if you have a chance to check it out, like I said, I found it on Turner Classic Movies. As far as I know, it's not streaming anywhere. You might be able to find like a copy online, like you Google or whatnot, but. But yeah, so I think that wraps up my movie watching for the week. Anything else before we move on, buddy?
No, but I think so. So my wife is supposed to, and the kids are supposed to go camping this week. So I'm going to try to squeeze in some new stuff. I think I want to watch City of God has been on my list for a while, so I'm going to try to squeeze that in while they're gone. Because that's
okay. So it's on my list too. So I'll try to watch it as well.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about it.
We can talk about it next week. Hang on. All right, something I don't want to talk about.
I asked you before the show. Do you hear some footsteps?
Yeah, my college football picks, man, they were. I told you we should have stopped the count at like week 7 or 8 or whatever it was when I was sitting pretty. Where is my? Why can I not find my app here? There it is. All right, so another bad week for your boy in college football picks. I was 3-7, week 12, 67 and 53 overall. My esteemed colleague here, Brandon, he was even Steven for week 12, 5-5, 65 and 55. So he's only 2 games back of me, folks. So I gotta pick up the pieces here. I gotta put the pieces back together. Figure something out.
Yeah, you're losing ground pretty quickly.
I am. Couple college notes here, I guess. James Franklin going to be the new coach at Virginia Tech, which I found weird. I guess it is not abnormal to like announce who the coach is going to be next season when you have an interim coach. Like, I guess that's not totally off kilter, but I don't know. It's just like, because like Virginia Tech even tweeted out like, "Yeah, we got our guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure the interim coach feels great about that."
Really great about that.
Yeah,
we got our guy. Guess what? It's not you.
Yeah, we got our guy, and it ain't you. What other college? No, I know the Longhorns had a tough one. Georgia.
So I was only able to watch the first half of this game, and I think I was more disappointed with the defense's performance in the first half than the offense's, because they had that one drive to score a touchdown, and they were in it for a little while, and then Manning had he had a deep ball that was like, it was a little overthrown, but maybe if the receiver had caught it, it would have been a great catch. He was still able to get his hands on it on a deep pass that would have set him up inside the 5. And then on the third down, he hit the guy in the hands and dropped it for what would have been a first down. And so after that, then Georgia got the ball back, drove back down the field. And so after that, I was like, okay, we're in big trouble right now. I haven't had as much of a problem with Arch lately. I think there are other facets of the game facets of the team that are the defense has actually been good all season and has carried them, but let them down this week. They weren't able to, once you get in a hole against a team like Georgia, especially on the road, you're going to be in trouble. And so from what I saw in that game, it just felt like they had some miscues. The defense wasn't able to stop Georgia at all. And then once they got behind, they were just going to be in trouble the whole way. So that's about how, from what I saw, that's how I felt like it played out.
So I know you didn't get to watch a lot, but from what you saw, any thoughts on Gunnar Stockton, the Georgia quarterback?
No, I didn't. From what I saw, the offensive game plan was really good. I didn't have any specific thoughts on the quarterback necessarily. It felt like there was a lot of they were just motioning guys one way, sending guys the other way. There was a lot of misdirection going on, and so they were just kind of creating a lot of multi-layer looks with the offense. And so that was more what I saw. I didn't have a big Gunnar Stockton take coming out of this.
Well, we're winding down. Obviously NFL's winding down too, but college football winding down even faster. Coming up on conference championships. So Texas is pretty much out of the SEC running at this point.
Yeah, I think they
could maybe play spoiler for A&M potentially. If they beat A&M that last week.
That's my hope is this. I think that's all they really have left right now.
Is that game in Austin or College Station?
It is in Austin this year because last year it was in College Station.
And it's on Black Friday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so a week from this Friday as we're recording this. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there. Let's see what happens this week with the picks. See if Brandon can tie me here. So let's get to some picks here. We'll start in the Big Ten. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights are traveling to Horseshoe in Columbus. Number 1, Ohio State, 10-0 on the season, are laying 33.5 points. I think I'm going to lay the 33.5 with the Buckeyes. What about you?
I am laying the points.
All righty. SEC matchup, classic SEC matchup here. Missouri at Oklahoma. Oklahoma, number 8 in the country here, 8-2 on the season, laying 9.5. Missouri, number 22, 7-3. I think I'm gonna. It's a tough one. I think I'm gonna take the points with the Tigers.
I'm taking the points with Missouri. I think Oklahoma, I think a lot of people kind of overrate what they did against Alabama. Like they had a bunch of really short field drives and Alabama was moving the ball but turned the ball over too much.
Yeah,
and so I think
I did see a little bit of the end of that game, and Alabama kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Exactly, I think that. Yeah, I feel it that felt more like a Alabama lost the game, not Oklahoma won the game.
Alabama's had an odd season. They lose their first game to Florida State, who stinks now, and
right.
This was their first conference loss, was this one to OU. So OU, I guess, might be in run a line for possible SEC championship game, depending on how things fall. We talked about Virginia Tech a minute ago. They are hosting the Miami Hurricanes, who are 8-2, number 13 in the country. Miami is laying, they're the road favorite here. They're laying 16.5 points. I'm going to lay the points with the Hurricanes.
I am not going to trust Carson Beck anymore, and so I will take the points.
Okay, fair enough. That's not. Don't blame you, but you know. All right, a classic Big Ten matchup here. USC travels to Oregon. Oregon's laying 9.5. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm laying the points this time
with Oregon. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing too. Oregon, I know they stumbled against who was that they lost to? Who did they lose to? I can't remember now. Oh, Indiana.
Was
Indiana?
Yeah.
Indiana. Then they had that they squeaked one out against Iowa. Dante Moore has actually looked pretty good the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna lay the points.
And then
there.
USC is coming
USC
off. They lost to Iowa, didn't they?
No. They beat Iowa. They were losing at halftime, 21-10, and just blew their doors off in the second half. Iowa blew Iowa's doors off in the second half and came away with a victory. So the two teams that didn't Iowa
cover?
Playing her.
Didn't Iowa cover though?
But
okay,
it was
okay. Because I bet on
yeah.
I bet on Iowa plus the 6.5.
But Iowa scored 0 second half points. Is I guess what I meant. So
that's the Iowa I know and love.
Yeah, right. Up next here, Syracuse travels to South Bend, take on the Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish laying 35.5. So that's 5 touchdowns, boys and girls. What are you doing here?
I am going to. I think I'm going to lay the points. Is Syracuse any good? I don't think they are. Right? Am
Syracuse
I wrong on that?
3-7.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-7 on the season.
I'm gonna lay the points.
I'll lay them too.
Okay.
All right.
I think Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame also needs style points right now for any shot at the. So I expect if they're if they're ahead, they probably won't take the foot off the gas.
Because obviously they don't have a conference championship game because they don't have a conference for football. So they gotta get what they can. All right, we haven't. I don't feel like we've picked a Texas game in a while because they weren't. I don't think Georgia, Texas wasn't last. We didn't pick that last week, did we?
They were not.
No. So this week, the Longhorns are welcoming in Arkansas. A classic, was this Big 8 matchup from back in the day?
I always think of it more as like Southwestern Conference is the other.
Southwestern Conference.
Yep.
So Arkansas 2-8 travels to Austin. The Longhorns are laying 10.5. I'll take the 10.5 with Arkansas.
I'm going to lay the points because I think Arkansas stinks. I know we're not as good as we're supposed to be.
Fine.
But
Fine. I'm laying the points too.
Arkansas lost to Memphis. So
wow. No. Arkansas, they're in the market for a new coach too. They fired Sam.
Aren't they? Don't they currently have their old Bobby Petrino? Isn't he like the interim right now?
They do. That's right, because they played LSU this past week, and it was interim coach versus interim coach, and we were watching it at my mom's house. We were watching College Game Day at my mom's house. And I was like, "Why do I know the name Bobby Petrino?" And I had to explain, like, "Oh yeah, he was." Yeah. All right. Up next, another 10.5 point spread. This time, Kentucky travels to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Never thought I'd see the day Vanderbilt was a 10.5 point favorite on anybody, but here we are. I'm gonna lay the points with the Commodores.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, up next we've got, is this Big 12? Yeah, Big 12 matchup. Kansas State travels to Utah to take on the Utes. The two Utes. Utes are laying 17.5. I think I'm going to lay the 17.5.
I'm sticking with my Utes. They were one of the teams that I like. I think one of my good weeks. They were like one of the teams that I actually like got right. I was pretty like. So I'm going to ride with the Utes, as Marissa Tomei would say.
Correct. Yeah.
Or Joe Pesci.
So, all right, two more games left. Big Ten matchup here. Michigan travels to Maryland. The Terrapins are getting 13.5, so they're the home underdog here. I'm going to lay the points with the Wolverines.
Too.
And last but not least, the Mean Green of North Texas. 9-1 on the season are the Mean Green.
That one loss was a convincing loss. So they got beat down in that one.
Who did they lose to?
South Florida.
Oh, okay. So North Texas 9-1 travels to Houston actually. So hey, buddy, we could actually go check this game out if we want to. They're going to be in Rice. They're going to be at the Rice Bowl, as it were, taking on the Owls. The Rice Owls are the home underdogs here. They're getting 17.5. I'm going to lay the 17.5 with the Mean Green.
I'm not going to bet on food. I'll take the Mean Green.
Okay, fair enough. You're not a carb fan. You're not a fan of carbs.
No, maybe if it was bread. Bread, I could see. Bread, I could see covering this. Rice, I don't think so. As Mitch Hedberg once said, rice is great if you're hungry and want to eat 2,000 of something.
Right. All right, buddy. Let me take a quick break before we transition to.
Do you want me to go ahead and go through our records for?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do that.
Okay. All right. So we can cover our preseason picks for the games that we picked before the season even started. Paul was 10-5 this week on week 11, 98-66 for the season. I was 9-6, so just a game behind. That brings me to 103-60-1 because I am counting that tie as a tie in my picks. In our spread picks, Paul was 5-10 for week 11, so 69-95. 69, pretty nice win total there. And 95 for the season. I was 8-7 for week 11, which brings me to 76-88 on the season. In the fan group this week, it looks like both Donnie and Andy, big shout out for these guys, they both went 10-5 this week. Donnie now above 500 at 82-81. Andy just behind him at 81-83, and then Paul and I bringing up the rear. Me with 760 points and Paul with 690. I was able to put some distance between our competitors in the confidence pool this week, as both Andy and Donnie forgot or had technical issues that prevented them from making their picks. It looks like Matt Eberflus is no longer picking with us. He has missed week 10 and week 11, so he has fallen off. This week went, what did I do? I went 10-5 this week with 97 points for week 11. I'm up to 914 on the season. Paul, 10-5, 93 for the week, and is 95-68 on the season. So I'm currently in the lead with 914 points. Paul's second now because of the missed picks from Andy and Donnie and Matt Eberflus. Andy, Donnie, and Matt Eberflus.
Has Eberflus flown the coop?
Yeah, Eberflus. Oh, I guess Donnie isn't doing the confidence picks, just Andy. So, it seems like Matt Eberflus seems to be taking his job as a defensive coordinator more seriously these days. So he's not able to make his confidence picks. He's added some weapons this week, which we will talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Win totals. You are now currently 3-1.
That's right, buddy.
As the Bengals under hits, Bengals under 10.5.
The only one that these four teams are settled
right
for the season. Bengals under 10.5, Commanders under 10.5, Patriots over 7.5, Colts over 6.5. So the only one of those that I got wrong was the Colts. You, I think, missed on.
I got Commanders and Patriots. I'm pretty sure those are the two I got right.
Right. Yeah, that sounds right. And then I think Andy he missed the two you missed were not the same two that Andy missed. I don't have them in front of me, but yeah. So yeah, I think, and I was looking today again. I don't have this in front of me, but I think the Ravens. I need them to win out to catch that over. The Chiefs, the same thing. I need them to win out. Like all the 11.5 teams are.
They're pretty dicey.
The Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, they all need to basically win out to cash in. And then for the win-loss game, the Skins game, whatever you want to call it, I'm at 104 through 11 weeks. You are at 93.
Yeah, the Cowboys actually didn't help me this week.
There you go. All right, buddy. Did we cover it all? Do we need to? We're ready to get into the.
We're ready to get into the game recaps. Yep.
All right, so real quick, on a bye, the Saints couldn't lose this week. Dave Wilson presented their bye week for the last rookie quarterback before Tyler Shuck to win a game for the Saints. And the Colts, their bye week was brought to you by Dick Horn, not Dick Horny, as we discussed last week. And then we go to Thursday night. Dick Felt presents Patriots 27, Jets 14. I took the points with the Jets. That was close, at least. Took 11.5. They lost by 13, so you know. And then you laid the points, so you're good there. So my takeaway out of this game is the Patriots might end up being the 1 seed in the AFC.
Well, I mean, their schedule is awful. Like it's somebody posted the top. Like a, tankathon, kind of the top draft picks. And he goes, oh, I thought this was the Patriots schedule for a second. which is basically it.
Allow me to tell you. So they got another Bills game left. So there's that. Their toughest. So they are at the Bengals this week, and then they have a bye. They haven't had their bye week yet. Is the other thing. So they're at the Bengals this week. They play Monday night next week is home Giants.
In the Parcells/Belichick Bowl.
Right. And then they have a bye week. Then they host the Bills. They go to Baltimore. So that's kind of a tough 2-game stretch. Then they close the season out at the Jets and home for the Dolphins. So if you're the Bills, which we'll talk about them here in a little bit. Well, I guess we could save that for there. But if you're the Patriots, there's no reason you shouldn't get to, what's that, 10, 11, 12? I mean, you should get to 13 wins, right? At least.
Do you know what the funniest thing about the Patriots right now, though, is?
What's that?
One of their losses was to the Raiders in week 1.
Yeah.
That's it makes no sense anymore. Like, at this point, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It does not.
It was a convincing win too, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't like the
final score was 20-13, but if you watch the game, like, the Raiders controlled that game.
Right. It never felt like the Patriots had a chance in that one. And now the Patriots are like good. They're going to as long as they don't like completely implode, they should be the 1 seed.
Yeah,
based on the fact that they're.
The Patriots started the season with the loss to the Raiders. They barely beat the Dolphins, and then they lost to the Steelers.
That's right. But that was didn't they have like 6 turnovers in that game and like barely lose?
Yeah. And then they haven't lost since week 3. So they've gone on a 8-game winning streak here. For the Jets, I'll talk about this a little more later, but I'm really stunned by like how many teams vying for the number 1 pick play each other down the stretch.
Well, we got one. We got one coming up pretty.
Got one this week. Yeah,
this week is going to be. That's a.
We got one. We got one this week. The Saints play
the Browns. Is it Saints Browns?
Saints play not this week, but they play the Titans and the Jets down the stretch. So like this number 1 pick is going to get pretty interesting.
It's going to be hotly contested.
I would say.
Who wants it? Who wants it less?
Right. Moving.
We should also. Well, before that, one more thing on the Jets is they have moved on to Tyrod Taylor now. Justin Fields.
They have, yes. They have.
Does Justin Fields get another job? So, I mean, because he looked competent for a while in Pittsburgh. Like, that's the thing is he was okay in Pittsburgh, and you thought like, hey, maybe come into the Jets, he'll be able to like he'll have the job and he'll be able to like maybe he'll be able to grow in this. And then he hasn't, and I was like, is this more of a condemnation of the Jets, or is the Justin Fields experience over?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it might be confounding circumstances. Like, I mean, the Jets are definitely going to be in the quarterback market, no matter where they pick come April, but. Yeah, I feel bad for Fields. He seems like a nice kid. He seems like a good guy, but I hope he gets another. Honestly, if he goes to Minnesota, maybe he's got a shot.
There we go.
if O'Connell can't fix you, then you're really up a creek.
All right, more on that later.
Yeah, more on that later. Let's move on to the game in Spain that was mostly lame. Matt Turk presents Dolphins 16, Commanders 13. This game stunk. I mean, it just actually. Let me go back through the closing moments of this game, if I may.
Well, when I checked the score. I think Washington was up like 13-6 when I first saw it, and then I checked back in and I was like, oh, well. I think
Washington. Go ahead.
I think when I checked back in was when you said something about you said Dolphins or something like that.
Okay, so the Dolphins. So it's 13-13. The Dolphins tied it with about 12 minutes left in the game. The Commanders get the ball. They turn over on downs. Dolphins get the ball. They punt it, but the punt is muffed by the Commanders. Dolphins recover. The Dolphins then proceed, and that happens with about 4 minutes left, okay? The Dolphins then proceed to get a couple big runs from Achane, and they are set up 1st and goal at the 6. They get a 1-yard run, a 4-yard run, and then on 3rd and – go ahead.
So they're at the 1 now.
They're at the 1. 3rd and goal. They run it with Achane, no gain. 4th and goal, they run it with Ollie Gordon. And not only don't they get it, they lose 2 yards. So they turn it over on downs, okay? So Commanders have it 1st and 10 at their own 3.
Well, it's not like the Dolphins head coach is an offensive guru. So
right. Right. The Commanders proceed to get a long pass from Mariota to Samuel. By the way, Mariota was playing hurt pretty much this whole game. I mean, he got banged up in the second quarter. So Mariota hits Deebo Samuel for a 28-yard pass. That gets them out of their own red zone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Gets another long pass to Jay Jones. I don't know which receiver this is, but anyway.
Who knows?
Who knows? They get it to the Miami 38. So they get a 56-yard field goal attempt from Matt Gay, which misses and prompts our good friend Trang to tweet, Matt Gay, he can't kick it straight, or something like that.
Good tweet.
Apologies.
Good tweet.
Yeah, apologies if I messed it up, Trang. But so then the Dolphins basically, they get the ball back. They run like 2 plays. They can't do anything with it. So that's the end of the regulation, right? So they go to overtime. The first play of overtime, Commanders get the ball. First play of overtime, Mariota throws an interception.
I did see that.
So the Dolphins just kind of nurse it, get in field goal range, and Patterson, their kicker, 29-yard field goal, kick it, let's go home. So our apologies to the folks in Spain that had to endure that. But here's the thing about, well, I guess let's start with the Commanders first.
Well,
Commanders are done.
Let me update you on this. Jay Jones is Jacoby Jones, who on Pro Football Reference has no information other than the fact that he was born on July 18th, 2001 in Tunica, Mississippi. Doesn't have a college. Has his height and weight. He is 6'3", 228 pounds. And he has one statistic. He has 1 target for 1 reception for 25 yards.
Yeah.
So that's his career.
I just told you about it. Yeah.
You just told me about it.
I just told you about it. So, yeah, Commanders are done. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is coming back this year. I dropped him off of my fantasy team, so.
Well, at this point, what's the why would you bring him back? Like, there's no reason. There's no reason to do it.
Nope. Just roll it with Marcus Mariota or Josh Johnson, who came in. Immaculate Grid legend Josh Johnson.
Absolutely.
But they're. I mean, it's funny that they might end up with another top 10 pick 2 years after picking Daniels, second in the draft. I mean, there's a possibility the Giants pass them up in the standings of the NFC East. But for the Dolphins, though, we were burying McDaniel a couple weeks ago.
This dude won't die.
Here's the rest of their.
He's like Dracula.
They are now 4-7. They have a bye week this week. Here's the rest of their schedule after their bye week: home Saints, at Jets, at Steelers, home Bengals, home Buccaneers, at Patriots. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win all 6 of those games, but I don't think they're going to lose all 6 of those games.
Well, I need them to win no more than 3 because I have Dolphins under 7.5. So
I think I do too. That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that season wraps up. I do know. I mean, obviously, we talked about they fired their general manager, so I'm wondering if they want to maybe keep McDaniel, bring a general manager in that can work with McDaniel. I don't know.
Maybe they can find a quarterback for him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. Up next here, Dontari Poe presents the 2 dumbest teams in the NFL. Panthers 30, Falcons 27. Look, the Falcons are just, I don't know if they're cursed. I don't know what's going on. But, like, Penix is now probably out for the season.
Drake London's hurt
it's
now.
Kirk Cousins' time. Drake London will not play this week against the Saints.
Correct.
The Saints are favored against the Falcons. That's all you need to know.
Buddy, it got dark fast over. It's got dark pretty fast over there in Atlanta.
The Falcons, and let's remember, boys and girls, the Falcons do not own their first-round pick in 2026.
That's right.
That belongs to the Los Angeles Rams, who right now are picking 8th in April. The Los Angeles Rams, who we'll talk about in a minute, who possibly could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, could also be picking in the top 10, hell, even the top 5 come April. So, yeah, I don't know. Falcons, it might be a lost season. Now, the Panthers, I said these are the 2 dumbest teams in the NFL. The Panthers are 6-5. They are a game, I believe it's 1 game back of the Buccaneers in the NFC South. They have not played the Bucs yet. They play the Bucs 2 times in the last 3 games. They still have to play the Saints again. They have now swept the Falcons. The Panthers have. Because remember, they beat them 30-0 earlier in the season.
So they've scored 30 points both times on the Falcons. This time the Falcons just actually managed to put some points on the board.
Right. The game, so the Panthers play on Monday night this week against the 49ers, which obviously we'll preview a little later, but it's possible that game could end up being the difference between the Panthers getting a wild card spot and not. Because if they beat the 49ers and they don't catch the Bucs for the division, they'll have a win in hand, at least over the 49ers, which I'm not saying it's going to happen, but, just food for thought.
I will say that the Cowboys loss in Carolina starting to look a little less, not too bad, not as bad as it looked at the time.
My one thing for Carolina is, can you just give the ball to Rico Dowdle a little bit more? Because, you're kind of killing my fantasy team here. He's basically carrying my.
When we get to the Monday night game, we'll talk about someone who is really killing your fantasy team.
Yeah, we will. Something else I don't want to talk about. I had the Falcons here because I'm an idiot. You had the Panthers, so good for you. Oh, that's one thing I meant to tell you just real quick. We went head-to-head this week on 9 games.
Huh?
Yeah, 9. You dominated the dojo. You were 6-3 against me. All right, up next here, Reggie Rodgers presents Bills 44, Bucks 32. Here's another game you beat me head-to-head because I had the Bucks. This just felt like a game that the Bills just needed more. That's kind of what it came down to. And the Bucks just, these injuries just catch up with you after a while. You don't have Mike Evans. You don't have Chris Godwin. You don't have Bucky Irving. At some point, that's got to matter, right?
I got to tell you, did you see the first Josh Allen interception? Because it was the dumbest thing. It was one of those 2018 rookie Josh Allen. He said that he slid the pressure the wrong way, so the Bucks just get in the backfield, and so he's getting tied up, and he sees his guy coming across, and he decides to try to just flick it forward, but he gets nothing on it, and so he flicks it basically to the Bucks, straight to the Bucks defender, and they're already it's at the Bills 10-yard line already, and it's just dumb, stupid early Josh Allen. Brain fart, total brain fart.
Like Will Levis type.
Yeah, that kind of play. Yeah. But it felt it just felt like the Bills could have played themselves into trouble in this one, but Tampa Bay had a lot of trouble covering kickoffs, and I think both teams actually did because there were a lot of long kickoff returns in this. And Buffalo just ended up having I think they had Josh Allen and the other team didn't. And Baker Mayfield, as good as he is, can only do so much. And it feels like they're, like you said, the injuries are just catching up with them and they're not kind of able to overcome it at this point. And one of the other things is like even when the Buccaneers were kind of like winning every game, it was a lot. There was a lot of like stuff
Close
that
games.
they had to have go right. Like
games.
they almost lost to the Jets at one point. They had that blocked field
Yep.
goal for a touchdown. They were able to put together a game-winning drive to win that anyway. But like they were pulling out wins, which is not necessarily indicative of like a team that's going to like just roll through the season, especially when you're also adding injuries into that mix.
So we talked about, they are only now, the Bucs that is, are only, it's technically a half game better than the Panthers because the Panthers have their bye week this week coming up. No. Week 14 is the Panthers.
Yeah, because the Panthers play the 49ers this week.
That's right. Yeah. We just talked about that. So the Bucs are 6-4. Panthers are 6-5. The Bucs' remaining schedule is at Rams, home Cardinals, home Saints, home Falcons. Panthers 2 of the last 3 with the Dolphins sandwiched in between. Meanwhile, the Panthers have, I think I may have just gone over this. But no, okay. No, I didn't. They play the 49ers this week. Then 49ers this week. Then host the Rams the next week. Then they have their bye week. Then it's at Saints, home Bucs. So they play the Bucs again, 2 of the last 3. But their sandwich game is home Seattle. So it still looks pretty good for the Bucs. Like as long as they can kind of, keep it
together.
Keep it together. The one thing I will say, because since the Saints were on a bye week this week, and I don't know any other better time to talk about the Saints, I guess we can talk about them. We'll talk about them when we get to the preview for this week. Actually, yeah, I'll save it for when we get to the preview for this week. Up next, Natron means business. The Jaguars meant business. Jaguars 35, Chargers 6. Okay. You want to do Chargers first or the Jaguars first?
Let's talk about the Chargers because, buddy, this is
we got problems
because I mean last week they went in and like dominated Pittsburgh, and you thought like, oh, maybe they'll be able to overcome like some of the offensive line problems they had. I believe in this game you said Trevor Penning was looking like Trevor Penning out there.
Yeah. So they traded for Trevor Penning basically at the trade deadline buzzer from the Saints. And I, like many Saints fans, were just shocked that the Saints got anything back for Trevor Penning. Even
do you remember what I said? Pick. Do you remember what I said on this very podcast? No. I said, Trevor Penning, doesn't he suck? and you were like, yes, he does suck.
Well, he got benched in his first game with the Chargers. So, yeah, not going great. So the Chargers, their best hope, so their remaining schedule – they still have to play. So they've played all of their division opponents at least once. So they have their rematches. So like they have the Raiders, they play the Chiefs again, they play the Broncos the last week of the season. They play both Texas teams. So they're at Dallas and then they host Houston the next week. And they have the Eagles at home. So like it's not exactly a cupcake schedule. Like there's no like their easiest game by far is the Raiders. The game this week against the Raiders. Wait, is it this? No, next week. They're on a bye this week. Yeah.
I was going to say the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders play the Browns this week.
Raiders play them. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so let's transition to the Jaguars here. Now it pains me to say this, Brandon, but your Jaguars win the AFC South, not out of the realm of possibility.
Still a lot. You're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a good chance. So follow me here for a minute. Here's the Jaguars' remaining schedule. Well, actually, yeah. The Jaguars' remaining schedule is the Cardinals, the Titans twice, the Jets, the Colts twice, and the Broncos. So obviously those 2 games against the Colts are the important ones. But outside of that Broncos game, you got Cardinals, Titans twice, and the Jets. You should get to 10 wins with those 4 games at least.
They should already be at 8 wins, though. Really, is like they've like they farted away 2 games like just with insanely stupid plays. Like between the Texans game and the Bengals game, which they like just completely just lost it on. Like 2 games they should have won. They should be 8-2 right now.
And on the flip side of this, the Colts, who are coming off of their bye week, have to play the Jags twice. They have to play the Texans twice. The Colts have not played the Texans yet. And then their other 3 games are the Chiefs this week, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. So
it's a pretty tough schedule there.
So let's say the Colts lose those 3 games. Let's say they lose to the Chiefs, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. That puts them at 8-5. We just said the Jags can get to 10. They should already be at 8, but they could get to 10 easy. So then it basically just comes down to those 2 games, and as long as the Jags don't stub their toe against the Titans or the Jets or the Cardinals, then you're in pretty good shape. Big game. Well, we'll talk about the Chiefs more in a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out with the Jaguars. They're still technically in it for the AFC South, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Would you like to hear about some sweet action?
We'd love to.
All right, Colts are favored to win the AFC South right now, -350. So pretty hefty odds there. You can get the Jags right now +380.
So a cynical man amongst us might say Paul would go put some money down on the Jags +380 just to jinx them. But I wouldn't.
Or would you? Or can I talk you into the Texans at +1425?
1420. Jesus.
Now that's some sweet action.
That is some sweet action. 15 to 1, almost basically.
I know. I'm tempted.
Yeah, the Texans. Yeah, we got their game coming up. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just talk about them right now. Let's just skip on down to Lonnie Johnson presents Texans 16, Titans 13. So what I have in our notes is the Texans are not out of this, but their schedule does them no favors. So let me pull this up real quick. So the Texans, their remaining schedule is Bills on Thursday night this week, so not great. Colts twice. They've already split with the Jaguars. Then they've swept the Titans now. So their remaining games outside of the 2 Colts games are Bills this week, at the Chiefs, home Cardinals, home Raiders, at Chargers.
That's 3 winnable games on the back end that you could definitely pick up, though.
That's 3 winnable. So let's say they lose this week to the Bills, and let's say they lose to the Chiefs December 7th, week was that week 14? Yeah, 14. So then that would put them at 5-7. If they could just win one of the Colts games, that puts them at 6-8. You win those last 3, you're 9-8. I mean, you're not going to win the division, maybe, but you might sneak a wild card. Honestly, this Bills game this week is pretty significant for the Texans because, you could backdoor your way into a wild card if you beat the Bills or the Chiefs, and if they kind of stub their toe a little bit. But Stroud is not playing Thursday night against the Bills, so that's not ideal. But
Davis Mills, the neck,
right? So I'm just saying that the Texans are not technically out of it, but yeah, their schedule does not do them any favors. The Titans,
they are out of it.
they are out of it. Now, as it sits currently, they have the number 1 pick for the second year in a row, which they would probably ransom at this point because obviously, say what you want about Cam Ward, he's got tools. Something. I mean, he's got tools, but they need a little refining,
polish. Yeah, and one of the things that you noticed watching this game were there were so many throws where he would just like he'd sit back and then he drops his elbow like a lot. Like he has issues. He'll get in, go to throw the ball and then just drop and throw from a low slot. And a lot of times those passes were ending up tipped at the line of scrimmage and batted down. Like if he cleans up his mechanics and then kind of like the decision making, like holding the ball, especially like he has the upper echelon, like arm talent. So like when he makes throws, like he can make throws that a lot of like 90% of the league can't make, but it's not those upper end plays. It's the lower end plays that you just need less of.
So speaking of sweet action, would you like to know who the odds-on favorite is to be the Tennessee Titans' next head coach?
Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy is plus 800.
Okay.
He is fourth best odds. Right ahead of Mike McCarthy is Cliff Kingsbury at plus 600. Right ahead of that is Arthur Smith, plus 500. Ooh. Arthur Smith did coach in Tennessee prior to taking the Atlanta job. But the betting favorite, shout out to our guy Andy the Bear. Go ahead.
Oh, is this a coordinator?
Coordinator.
Who's the Bears' offensive coordinator? Or is it offensive coordinator?
No, no, it's a former Bears head coach who is now a coordinator. It's not Eberflus. It's not.
Okay. Darn. I thought this was my ticket.
Think offensive coordinator who was a Bears head coach.
Now I can't remember who the Bears head coaches were.
Andy's probably screaming at his.
I know he is. Who is it?
Podcast. If he was Matt Nagy.
Oh gosh,
because Matt Nagy is currently the OC with the Chiefs. Now, right. Obviously, he's not the play caller for the Chiefs. That would be Andy Reid. There's your favorite. Also listed at plus 850 is Brian Flores, who that was a name I threw out there last week. I said if you hire Flores as your head coach and you hire Dayball as your OC, which I think he might as well be Brian blackballed at this point because it looks like he's
buddy, like that guy that guy's going to have some trouble getting jobs in the league at this point. Yeah,
he's going to have. I'd say he's more off limits than Flores right now in terms of head coaching.
We could do the what about Flores McDaniel if McDaniel actually does lose his job?
Yeah, that would be an interesting one too. I mean, or actually, I don't know if you'd hire McDaniel right back as a head coach, but I mean, like.
I feel like, with those guys, you got to have them go do. You got to have them rebuild the image before they get another head coaching job.
Yeah, I do think the Arthur Smith one is interesting. Say what you want about Arthur Smith. I mean, he did have that offense in Tennessee. I believe, I could be wrong, but when he was the OC at Tennessee, that was like when Tannehill was really good, like, and then that's what got him. Arthur Smith the job at Atlanta. Now, obviously, the things went sideways in Atlanta, but for what it's worth, being Pittsburgh, he's doing what he can with the Steelers, with their quarterback rotation as it is every year. But
I think what you would sell the selling point on the McCarthy hire would be just like this guy, like he may not be able to take you over the top, but he could get you to baseline competence pretty much across the board, which I think is like he's good at getting you to like a level of competence or respectability. And I think he's good for developing quarterbacks like that. Like I think he's a good players coach and a good development guy, which I think is what they need. Right? Exactly. Yes.
They need somebody who's going to build a culture, obviously develop Cam Ward, and
if only they had a coach who was a good culture builder that they could.
I know. Who would have ever thought that Mike Vrabel would go to the Patriots and have them 9-2? I mean, obviously the Patriots' schedule helps a little bit, All right. I mentioned Andy, the Bears fan. Let's go to Nicole Pruitt. Presents Bears 19, Vikings 17. That, ladies and gentlemen, your first place Chicago Bears at the moment at 7-3. I think I heard him called more than once this week the worst 7-3 team of all time.
Somebody posted the Jack Sparrow meme. The Jack Sparrow meme. It was like, "You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of." It was like, "But you have heard of me." And it was like you have heard of me. Yes, you're the worst 7-3 team in history. But we are 7-3.
But we are 7-3. That's right. So let's start with the Vikings. We mentioned the O'Connell. If O'Connell can't fix you, you might be broken. So McCarthy sucks now. So he was fine last week, but no.
Yeah. I thought he sucked last week. You said that was your quote. Was so McCarthy sucks now. I think that's what it was again.
Oh no! I thought last week I was like, maybe I don't. Oh no, that's right. That's right. Because he was good against the Lions 2 weeks ago. That's what it was.
Right.
And then right. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I mean, you could tell it's if you watch the Vikings games, I mean, just watch O'Connell on the sidelines every once in a while, and he's just like, he's got this look on his face like, oh man, of all these quarterbacks in 2022, and this is the one we got, was McCarthy.
Come back, Sam. Come back, Sam.
I mean, I have heard
now you got to lie in it.
You want to know one of the fun little rumors that's been popping up on Saints Twitter last couple of days is, well, Derek Carr might want to come back, and if he goes to the Vikings, the Saints can get compensation. I'm like, oh my god, just stop it.
Y'all are just anything to bring back Carr so y'all can get something for him.
God, let me tell you,
it wasn't enough to get rid of the guy.
I'll talk more about that in a minute. But yeah, just stop it, folks. For the Bears, their schedule definitely gets a tick, goes up a notch. They're gonna take it up a notch, like Izzy, because their schedule. Just give me a second. Let me pull it up. If I could find it. So they host the Steelers this week. Not terrible. Friday, they go to Philadelphia. Then they at Packers, home Browns, home Packers, at 49ers, which I've been circling that game for a while. That Bears 49ers game, week 17, might end up being for a playoff spot because of just how things play out. They're both teams are at 7 wins right now. And then they close the season with the Lions at home. So, and that could also end up being for a playoff spot, depending on what the Lions do down the stretch. I didn't watch the whole video, but I did see Chase Daniel put a video out about Caleb Williams, and how Caleb is actually improving, but it's kind of one of these, like, here's the thing with the Caleb thing, right? It's like you got to squint to see it. And anytime you got to squint to see it, that's not good.
Well, especially when you we hired that offensive genius and we have to. Oh, look, I can kind of see him being okay with our offensive guru head coach.
I think if you kind of sodium pentothal, truth serum, Ben Johnson, he'd be like, yeah, he ain't it. Like
feel like, can I get another quarterback?
Right.
It's gonna be funny when Ben Johnson coaches him into actually having to pay this guy, and then he's kind of stuck with him.
Well, or what? I mean, if you're the Bears, depending on how this season goes, could you sell Caleb Williams to another team and be like,
like the Vikings?
I mean, just saying, now. I mean, you'd have to have a plan, obviously. You can't just say, oh, we're going to trade Caleb Williams and figure it out. You got to have a plan in place. But I don't know, it'd be something interesting to keep an eye on during the season. Something not interesting to watch. Potsy Jones presents Packers 27, Giants 20. Well, actually, no. I take that back. Jameis Winston made this game interesting to watch. Because when they announced him as the starter, obviously Dayball gets fired, Mike Kafka takes over. They announced Winston as the starter, and it's like, oh, okay. now I'm intrigued. Now I've got something to watch. And ironically, Drew Brees, his first game working for Fox as a play-by-play analyst was this game, Packers Giants.
How was he? Did you? I didn't see.
I've heard mixed reviews. I didn't listen to it. One tweet I saw was there was a lot of dead air. So I know he was working with Adam Amin, I believe, was the play-by-play guy, and I know he's fairly good from what I've heard of him. So
not everybody can be Tony Romo and just step in there and
yeah, right. I don't know, Jim.
Jim. Oh, Jim, look, they're lining up. They got the wide receiver over here. They're gonna run a check down over here.
He's just called him the play. Somebody, one of the coaches had to be like, Tony, calm down.
Yeah, you got to stop, buddy.
Can you not just like give our playbook on while we're doing this? Yeah, another classic Packers playing down to their competition game. I know Jordan Love did get banged up in this game. Malik Willis had to step in for a little bit. Josh Jacobs looks like he might be out for an extended period of time. Packers might be in trouble, buddy. They might.
Well, they've been doing this all season. Like this is not new. This has been the whole. Like they had those first two games and they were dominant, and everyone was like, "Look out for the Packers!" Like they could be something special, and the Packers were like, "We could be something special," and then they just been like sniffing their own farts for the end, for the whole rest.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Yeah. I mean, Packers schedule down the stretch. So they've got to play the Vikings twice. They got to play the Bears twice. They play the Lions on Thanksgiving. And then their other games are at Broncos and home Ravens. So it's not easy. Like that's not so it could get a little dicey for the cheeseheads there. Especially if Jacobs has to miss some time. I know. And then Tucker Kraft. Is Tucker Kraft out for the season?
He's out for the year. He's out for the year. But it does look like it looks like they're getting Jaden Reed back soon. I did see a tweet that looked like he was nearing return. So
that's good. That's good news at least. Giants. Yeah, I mean, Jameis messed around, had a Jameis interception. I think I texted you at one point. I was like, "Oh no, Jameis, no!" It was a classic. Jameis.
I'm gonna throw it up.
Somebody's open. It may not be. It may not be a giant, but somebody's open. I'm just gonna chuck it, and yeah, it was. But you know what? It's fun to see him at least still out there,
still slinging it.
Still slinging it. Also still, maybe not slinging it anymore. AA run. Solomon Wilcots presents Steelers 34, Bengals 12. So Rodgers gets hurt. Looks like he has a slight break in his left wrist, is what I've heard.
I hear his wife is nursing him back to health.
Right, of course. Yeah, of course.
Maybe Rodgers has a wife in the sense that like Jerry did to get discounts on dry cleaning. You and your wife. There
you go.
That's what it is. That's the situation.
Nailed it.
She's real, but she's just there for the discounts.
We always get to the bottom of it, buddy. I mean, that's one thing they can't say about us. So Mason Rudolph comes in. They still beat the Bengals fairly convincingly, which I know is not saying a lot, but it's something, right? I mean, they won. I have in the notes here, the Steelers need 3 wins in their last 7 to keep the Tomlin streak alive. Here's the Steelers' remaining schedule. We're playing a lot of remaining schedules today, but we're getting to that point in the season, boys and girls. So we gotta keep track of all this. Okay. So we just mentioned Steelers will be in Chicago this week. They'll play the Bears. Then they host the Bills. They go to Baltimore, play the Ravens, host the Dolphins, which that's a Monday night game at this current moment. God help us. Then they go to Detroit, play the Lions. They go to the Browns, and they end the season hosting the Ravens, which that could technically end up being the AFC North Championship game, depending on how things pan out for both teams. So they got to win 3 of those games. 3 of those games I just mentioned. They got to win to keep the Tomlin streak alive of never having a losing season. I think they can at least do that. I mean, you should beat the Browns. Probably should beat the Dolphins. And you just got to win.
Where you got to find that third win. That's the
well.
The
third
Bears,
win is
the challenge.
They should. They should still be able to beat the Bears this week, right?
What is the? Hold on, because I'm going to look at the line on that game real quick.
Bears are favored. I'll just tell you that.
Okay, that was my.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Rudolph. Yeah. I mean, listen. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic, but the Steelers. Yeah, their schedule's not easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I feel like they can. And I still think the Ravens are going to catch them in terms of the division, but with the Bengals, the only kind of thing to look forward to with the Bengals is Burrow might come back.
Why would you at this point, though? I don't like. What's the point? Like, what?
I don't disagree with you. But I mean, you could at least like make things interesting. Although Flacco's doing what he can. You know, it's really their defense too isn't doing them any favors either. Which somebody tweeted, I forget who it was. Somebody said the Bengals' defense was god awful last year, and somehow they got worse.
Well, I think I saw somebody actually said that there's never been in the Super Bowl era a team that's finished last in passing yards allowed, last in rushing yards allowed, and last in points allowed. And I think the Bengals are 32nd in 2 of the 3, and they're 31st in the third one. And so, like, they have a chance to do something special here. They could be.
There you go.
I think they are actually also in DVOA in terms of, like, they are actually, like, currently through 10 games played, they are the worst defense of all time by DVOA.
So their next 2 games are home Patriots, and then Thanksgiving night they play Baltimore. So good luck. Good luck to you.
Have fun with that.
Have fun with that. Up next, Tim Rattay presents 49ers 41, Cardinals 22. Totally forgot Brock Purdy was coming back. Like I had kind of like just put that in the back of my mind. And then I watched this game on Sunday. I'm like, oh, Brock Purdy's back. I think the 49ers are good now. I mean,
well, the thing with the 49ers is they have so many, like, their best players on defense are out for the season. Like that's what's going to end up holding them back. And they still have a soft schedule. Like they're probably going to make the playoffs barring like a collapse. Yep. The ceiling's not there is the thing.
I agree that, like I said, but I think the ceiling's a little higher with Purdy. I mean, no disrespect to Mac Jones.
Oh, absolutely. Like, but the thing is, it's like it's higher, but it's still. I mean, you got an 8-foot ceiling instead of a 7-foot ceiling. Instead of you don't have the vaulted roof over here. You're like you ain't got no vaulted roof, no skylight.
I mean, again, I really think that Week 17 game against the Bears is going to end up being a loser leaves town type of situation for a playoff spot. Assuming the Bears hold up their end of that bargain. But
speaking of loser leaves town, I think Kyler Murray may also be on his way out.
By the way, Jacoby Brissett, 47 of 57, NFL record for complete, which that number felt low. Does 47 feel low?
Didn't he tie the record? Wasn't that?
But still, like 47 as the record just feels like a low number. I thought for sure somebody had gotten to like 50.
To 50, right? You would think somebody.
But but no, Kyler Murray. That's one guy. See, I don't know what you do if you're the Cardinals. Do you just strip it down to the studs, fire Gannon, trade Murray?
I think it's time. You've probably got enough pieces on defense that you can like keep that intact, and then just try to like maybe find an offensive coach to kind of like, and then try to find maybe build back your offensive system, because you're kind of lacking over there. I think you've still got some issues over there. And then try to rebuild. Yeah,
that's
like do a soft reset maybe, instead of like a whole tear it down to the studs situation.
Because they're not. I don't think they're. Well, I say that I don't think they're going to be in position for one of these quarterbacks, but you never know. I mean, right now, where do they sit in the draft? Let me just pull this up real quick. They currently have the 10th pick, and they are 3-7. So they basically would have to lose out and hope for a couple of other teams below them to win some more games. But yeah, I mean, maybe it ends up. But if they lose out, Gannon's not keeping his job.
No. He seems like he's on thin ice anyway.
Yeah, I would agree. Up next, Al Cowlings. Yes, that Al Cowlings presents one of the heavyweight fights of the week. Rams 21, Seahawks 19. Shout out to our good friend Trang. Fortunately, the Seahawks couldn't pull this one out. But here's what I'll say about the Seahawks. I'm going to try to be glass half full here. Sam Darnold throws 4 interceptions, and yet you still have a field goal. You make a field goal to win the game, but Sean McVay just called timeout. And then when you try it again, he misses. So, I mean, there's something there, right? I mean, you got to have some kind of good feelings about that, I would say.
These teams are pretty evenly matched, it feels like. These are kind of like, they feel like they may be the two actually best teams in the NFC, or they're the most complete, like, because both of these teams have good offenses and good defenses, whereas another particular team in this this conference who's leading the conference has one good one good side of the ball.
Yeah. Funny enough, I have the TV on here, and ESPN is running ESPN2, I should say, it's NFL Live, and they're talking about the Rams' Achilles heel is their special teams. They're like the worst special teams in the NFL, which obviously come playoff time could make a difference. I think I agree with you. These are the two best teams, in my opinion, in the NFC. The Seahawks defense is definitely legit and can keep them in games as long as Darnold does it. But Darnold just was seeing ghosts against the Rams. I mean, it was obvious. So he needs to figure that out somehow. Don't know how he does that, but he just got to figure it out. Or you just figure out a way to run the ball and just maybe try to shorten the game.
Take it out of his hands a little bit.
Well, but in this case, they were behind, so you kind of had to throw it. These two teams will meet again. They have another game. Their rematch is coming up in a couple weeks here. Actually, it's a Thursday night game. Their rematch. I want to say it's obviously Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving. The week after is Detroit Dallas is the Thursday night game. I want to say it's the week after that. That next Thursday night is Rams Seahawks. All right, up next, Paul Kruger presents Ravens 23, Browns. Kruger. Ravens 23, Browns 16. You tried to warn me last week about the Ravens in this spot, and they almost blew it. They almost blew it, buddy. The Browns were in it. Obviously, Shador gets into the game because Dylan Gabriel is concussed. He throws his pick on his second passing attempt. The Ravens do just enough not to lose. Yeah. So I guess the Browns are a Shador Sanders team now.
Buddy, that was a rough watch for Shador. Like that.
It was.
Maybe he'll look better actually after like getting some snaps with the first team guys.
it was one of those things. So I had Seahawks, Rams, obviously Broncos, Chiefs, which we'll talk about in a second. And those were obviously compelling games. And I just happened to glance over and I'm like, is that Shador playing for the Browns? And sure enough, it was. So, yeah, the Ravens, they've got their destiny in their hands. If they can just, they're only a game back of Pittsburgh. They still have to play Pittsburgh twice. We've talked about it a minute ago with the Steelers. It feels like the Ravens it almost feels like they're destined to win the AFC North and then just lose in the first round at this point.
Yeah, they don't feel, they feel like not like the level of team they've been in the more recent vintage. It feels like something, it feels like Lamar's not having as good a season this year. Like, even like taking out the missed time, like something's missing.
Something's missing already. I would also say Derrick Henry's not, either they're not using him the same or people just figured out how to stop him.
I think so. Some of it is also like the fact that they've been down in more games. And so like he's been, he a lot of his rushing yards with the Ravens last year came when they were ahead and trying to run out the clock. They haven't had that sort of, but also I think Cleveland's kept him in check pretty much every time he's played them too. So like Cleveland has been able to stop him. So that's, I think that's part of it.
We should mention Myles Garrett's still best pass rusher in the NFL. I mean, or one of the best. So.
I still think he's the best.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Donovan Ezuraku has come a long way. That's true, but like I'll still give the edge to.
How sanctimonious, how generous of you. All right, moving on here. Michael Dean Perry, another pass rusher of years gone by, presents Broncos 22, Chiefs 19. And with that, let's turn to our dispatch of the week from our good friend Donnie. Excuse me.
Coming up next, are the Chiefs in trouble?
Right. We'll get to that in a minute. Thank you, Nick Wright. So, Week 11, Denver Dispatch from Donnie. Huge win for the Broncos. What a weird week for them. First, Alex Singleton, the starting middle linebacker, announced he had surgery to remove cancer from his testicle the day after the Raider game, and he would be out for some time. All week, the status of J.K. Dobbins was in question, whether he would be placed on IR or not with a foot injury. Ultimately, they put him on IR Sunday before the game because he's having season-ending surgery. Although he is saying on social media he plans to be back. Pat Surtain was going to be out, so being without three key starters was going to make the KC game tough. I have said for years that while the Chiefs are good, their luck has been unbelievable. I've got a stat to back that up here in a second. Key players are often injured before they play KC, and the Chiefs never seem to have any key players injured ever. So this was setting up to be very hard for the Broncos to overcome. Felt the Broncos played really well on defense. Kansas City's best play is getting pass interference on 3rd and long, which they got a couple of long PI calls in this game, both pretty soft in my opinion. Offensively, they were better than they have been the last few weeks. Bo was much sharper. I mentioned Marvin Mims as someone they needed back this week. And boy, did he make an impact on special teams. Peyton had some poor play calling after Mims' long punt return. Denver has the ball first down from the 12-yard line going in. I don't remember which down it was, but the quarterback throwback play killed the drive. Very satisfying to beat the Chiefs as a misplaced Bronco fan living in the KC metro area. It has been hell dealing with them for the last 9 years. They have had their best 9 years. Denver has had its worst 9 years. It seems as if we have made a deal with the devil to get that Super Bowl in 2015, but we have an owner, a real coach, and a promising QB. This game puts the Broncos 4 games up on the Chiefs and now 2 games up on the Chargers, who are falling apart. So I actually had in the notes, Broncos are turning back the clock to 2015, which is, as Donnie mentioned, that's when they won their Super Bowl with Manning.
Promising QB is a little optimistic for me on Bo Nix.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, listen,
he has flashes like where he'll make throws, but he's a little up and down. Like maddeningly inconsistent is the issue.
Yeah,
it's like a Cam Ward situation. Like the highs are good, but like the lows, buddy, you got to stop that.
So Donnie mentioned something about Kansas City's luck running out. The Chiefs this year in one-score games are 0-5.
I wonder, well, what was that record last year though?
It was a lot better. It was like
wasn't it like 12-0 or something like that?
It was insane. Yeah, somebody, I think it was Rich Eisen, mentioned the stat on his show. It was like double-digit wins in one-score games last year, and now 0-5 so far this year, which makes a difference. For what it's worth, Denver 7-2 in one-score games this year. So just keep that in mind as we get to playoff time. For the Chiefs, look, they're obviously in. You gotta start stringing some wins together. Obviously, the Colts game this week is fairly important, not only to stay above 500, but also you could end up. You've already lost to the Jaguars, So now I think if I'm the Chiefs, I'm not thinking about the division. I'm thinking about, can we just get a wild card? Can we just get some momentum going, get a wild card, get in the playoffs, and then we all know, like, the playoffs are a crapshoot. Like, all it takes is you just got to play your best game 4 weeks in a row, or best football 4 weeks in a row, or 5 weeks in a row, and see what happens. I think, I'm happy for Donnie, for the Broncos. Obviously, Sean Payton. I'm obviously a fan of Sean Payton's. Half the staff there is all former Saints staffs. Will Lutz is a former Saints kicker. Is their kicker. So obviously happy for them. This was a really good game for what it's worth. I mean, this back and forth between this and the Seahawks-Rams game, we were doing pretty good on Sunday afternoon, buddy. Watching this.
Outside of the Ravens-Browns.
Well, Ravens-Browns and what was the other?
The Cardinals-49ers, that game was pretty much...
Yeah, that game was
over pretty fast. Yeah.
That was over pretty fast, yeah. Well, do you want to take the next two games here, buddy? Since they're two teams, I won't say near and dear to your heart, but,
Near and dear to my something. I won't name the body part that these teams are near and dear to. Jim Thrower, or if you watch this game, Jim Throw Upper presents Eagles 16, Lions 9. This felt like the game that was like a lot of this, I think, was kind of controlled by the fact that there were very gusty winds. I think that had a lot of influence on the passing game. I think that was a big part of this because they had wind gusts from 20 to 40 miles an hour. And so, like, you could see Jared Goff's, like, especially like the downfield passes were missing pretty consistently outside of that one Jameson Williams touchdown, which big for my fantasy team. I know that was a big one for me. I needed that. But another thing was the Lions also, like, went over in the fourth down in this game. And, like, if they convert like maybe one or two of those, like this ends up looking a little differently.
So I didn't stay up to watch this one, but in hearing you talk about it and hearing other people talk about it, it almost feels like the 49er playoff game the Lions had, that NFC Championship game where they just
every coin flip went against them basically. Right. And then the weather conditions just weren't.
Yeah, they showed my cousin Jake Elliott kicking pregame, and like the balls just
flying all over the place,
flying off. I also saw apparently there was a pass interference call that went against the Lions.
It was pretty bad. That was a rough call. Like they didn't lose the game because of that, but that didn't help because like the Lions would have gotten another shot at it, I think, to go tie the game.
So what you're telling me is Jared Goff's team had a pass interference call go against them?
That's correct.
That's a shame.
Well, that's a shame.
This Eagles offense sucks, but their defense is one of the best in the NFL. I mean,
and they have this team is, which is funny because like I was on Twitter earlier and it was like Eagles. I think it was before this game. So I think it was like late last week, and like Eagles fans were complaining about why don't people respect Jalen Hurts as like, instead of calling him a borderline top 15 quarterback, why isn't he getting like more praise? You know, because he's a Super Bowl MVP, Paul. I don't know if you know this, but
I'm aware.
He was the Super Bowl MVP. Like, everybody who watched that game, who has eyes, knows that the defense is what won that Super Bowl. Like, everybody knows that. Like, anybody who's not a
you can't give a whole defense. You can't give a whole defense MVP, apparently.
Yeah, and so but like the other thing about this is like there continue to be just like story after story of like total dysfunction in the Eagles offense, and it's not just AJ Brown crying for the ball anymore. It's also like apparently Jalen Hurts like you watch him play and he just like stands back there and holds the ball and just kind of like looks around like what, like you see the all-22, he's got like this perfectly clean pocket. There are guys open and he's just like standing there like this is obviously not elite quarterback play. Like, I don't know what else they need to do to like get through to these people.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a top 10 quarterback. I mean, like, can we at least say that?
No.
Are we there? Are we there now?
That is the official platform of Bless Dem Boys. Is Jalen Hurts is not a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah,
like I think I would say like Jaden Daniels in my mind is like a better quarterback than he is already
when
like,
healthy. Yeah,
when healthy. Like the problem. The problem.
I mean, again, if you gave Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni truth serum, I know you'd probably want to give them a little.
Let me lace that with a few other things.
Just truth serum, and you said, okay, you could trade Jalen Hurts for, I mean, obviously Josh Allen, Mahomes, like those
even
guys.
Dak, like, do you think Dak would? How like awesome Dak, do you think Dak would be in this on this team?
Right. That's yes. I mean, it's that. I think it's going to take them. It's going to take a playoff game going sideways on them because of Hurts for them to be like to consider making a change there. I mean, they did just pay him, so it's not like you can just trade him like easy. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, they're 8-2. They're probably going to be the 1 seed in the NFC just because, like.
I on the Jalen Hurts thing, I think the tush push is the perfect metaphor for Jalen Hurts on the Eagles because he gets shoved by everybody. Everybody else on the team does all the hard work and he gets credit for the results basically. So everybody else around him is doing all the stuff. All he's doing is just kind of like leaning forward and having his butt shoved. That's what I think is the tush push is the Jalen Hurts metaphor.
Yeah, and just real quick on the Lions, because I know I had a futures bet on before the season of them missing the playoffs. It's not out of the question. I get it. They're still the Lions. They're still good. Obviously, we know. Dan Campbell took over play calling duties. They're scheduled down the stretch here. So they've got the Giants this week, Packers on Thanksgiving, Cowboys the following Thursday, at Rams, home Steelers, at Vikings, at Bears. So, they're 6-4 right now. You could, I think there's 4 wins in here to get you to 10, because 10 probably gets you in the playoffs in the NFC, I would imagine. But there's some tricky games in here. Like, there's at the Rams, like that's not easy. I mean, Steelers, depending on if Rodgers is playing or not, like
I don't know if that. Yeah, I still think the Lions are like a good team. It's just they've had like a couple of like tough losses this year. So
and now the thing for the Lions is. Obviously, they probably weren't going to get the 1 seed anyway, but now you've lost to the Eagles. I mean, you have the Rams coming up, so maybe you beat the Rams, just kind of get some mojo back. Obviously, Goff's going to want to play well against his former team. You want to take the Monday night game, buddy?
All right. Andre Holmes presents Cowboys 33, Raiders 16. Cowboys get an emotional win coming back from the bye week.
Yeah. After the passing of Marshawn Nealon, which I saw a little bit of Coach. Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to my Ask for Help.
I saw a little bit of Coach Schottenheimer's post game. I thought that was. I tell you what, buddy. I think you guys got the right coach.
I know it's after all that after all that hand wringing. Like I think we actually we may not have the right defensive coordinator, but Schottenheimer's I will eat crow on this. I think he's a good coach, and I think he's still growing into the play calling aspect, and I think he's still figuring some stuff out about being aggressive on fourth downs at certain times. And I think he admits that in some of the situations he should have been more aggressive and whatnot. And so I think he's still learning on that end. But from an overall standpoint of where he is and how the team plays for him, really happy with where they are. Really, I mean, obviously the offense looked great. I know you were not happy to see most of those passes going to George Pickens. It looked like the Raiders were bracketing CD and putting two guys on him on most snaps, and so George Pickens was just basically getting whatever he wanted. He was just eating.
So for the folks at home, fantasy football this week went into Monday night. I was up 10 points. I had Brock Bowers. My opponent had George Pickens. As Brandon mentioned, obviously I ended up not winning. Pickens had, despite not playing the first series, Pickens had probably one of his better games. Bowers has Geno Smith as his quarterback, he's throwing Bowers the ball for what it's worth. It's just for whatever reason he's not catching them. They're not getting to him.
Genty also had a couple of drops in this game too.
Yeah.
And but Genty at one point had 6 carries for 6 yards. So if we want to talk about the other side of the ball.
Yeah, so on the Raiders, we've talked a little bit about that fight for the number 1 pick. The Raiders right now are picking 6th. They have 2 wins. They do play the Browns this week. I was looking at their schedule earlier, and I have a hard time finding another win for the Raiders. Assuming they don't beat the Browns. They're at Chargers, home Broncos, at Eagles, at Texans, home Giants, home Chiefs.
Giants, maybe? That's a
maybe.
How much money do you think Pickens and CD were up at the blackjack table the night before to get that suspended?
I was gonna say enough to get suspended. Can we? Okay, I don't know if you just tell me if you don't want to go down this road. But Cowboys are now 4-5-1. You've got to play your 3 division opponents. Obviously, you got the Eagles this week. Commanders and Giants are your last 2 games. The rest of your schedule down the stretch is
well. Let me tell you that the next 3 games are because you know who we got Sunday too. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got Eagles this week,
mm-hmm.
Chiefs on Thanksgiving, Lions the following Thursday.
Yep.
After that, it's home Vikings, home Chargers, at Commanders, at Giants.
I mean, that's 4 winnable. Those 4 winnable games.
So let's say, okay, so if you win those 4 games, that would put you at 8 wins. That would put you at 8-3-1. Right? No.
5.
8-8-1. 8-8-1.
8-8-1, yes. Which would, I should also admit, I should also point out, would hit the over on the 7.5 wins.
It would hit the over. Probably doesn't get you in the playoffs.
Right.
Because you're not winning the division, I don't think, unless the Eagles just completely collapse. You'd probably to get a playoff spot, you'd probably have to win one of these next 3 games, and you'd have to hope for the Bears to kind of fall apart. Remember, that tie helps you in standings because
it's not a loss.
It counts. It's not a loss, right? It counts as a non-loss. So, but I mean,
So I will say, like if they win more than one of these upcoming 3 games, like that's like at that point I am like, okay, then I'm looking at playoff chances. If they win one of these next 3 games, I think that's a decent outcome. And like if they go 0-3, then it's like, okay, well then like just pack it up.
So I mentioned to you a possible new segment on the show called Skip This, where we just look at Skip Bayless's Twitter account and all the nonsense that he. So he had 2 this week. One was Shedeur is a franchise quarterback, which okay,
good luck.
Fine,
okay.
And then the other one was apparently he's back on the Cowboys now. Like he's
go away.
He's like, yeah,
I would like to skip that tweet. I would like to skip that.
Here's the reason I bring this up. If for some chance the Cowboys beat the Eagles this week, the next day, the coming up next segments are going to be
absolutely, it's good.
Just off the like. It might be an all-timer. Like we might have to just close down shop on Monday. They'll be able to power
the country for years with the heat from those days.
I mean, poor Stephen A. Smith. He just got taken off NBA Countdown, and then if the Cowboys beat the Eagles, man, he's going to have to just retire. Like it's going to be.
Before we go on, I have one more hypothetical for you. So the Cowboys have taken Micah Parsons, and they have traded him and turned him into Quinnen Williams.
Kenny Clark,
Quinnen Williams, another first-round pick. He's still got an extra first-round pick from that deal, and a couple of other like ancillary pieces. I think like maybe a little bit of cap space. I mean, obviously, the Raiders' offensive line is no great shake, so we'll have to see how it looks against competence too, but Quinnen Williams had a sack and a half, and I think Osa also had a sack. Like, how do we feel about how the Cowboys ended up in that trade at this point? How do we feel? How do you feel? What do you think? Because I feel a little better about it now, given where we are.
I mean, yeah, buddy. I think you're. This week's going to be very interesting against the Eagles. I mean, if that's why I was half joking about the like coming up next segments on ESPN, but like I'm very curious to see how the Cowboys, especially since the game's in Dallas. I mean, the game's at home. Obviously, these next 3 games, the Eagles, the Chiefs, are all 3 of these games at home?
I know that the Eagles and Chiefs one's obviously. I think the Lions one is probably in Detroit. Yeah, I don't think they would give us 3 home games in a row because I know that the next 2 are definitely.
So, because the Lions obviously host the Packers on Thanksgiving, and then they host the Cowboys the next week. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a good test for this young defense to see, or I guess revamped defense, I'll call it.
Right.
You could call it.
Because
Overshown came back. We didn't talk about this.
Well, we got so they brought back. So you get between the bye week and this Raiders game, you added Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson via trade.
Right.
You get Overshown back.
Right.
You get Siobhan Revell back, 3rd round draft pick, who is coming off ACL. You also get your 2 starting safeties back who had missed multiple weeks. So like you got a lot of pieces back in this week. So like they were missing people. Like they were bad, but they were also missing people in the secondary, and so like it felt like there's more there now.
When you're missing people, it makes your bad worse. So
exactly.
Yeah, buddy. Who knows? I mean, keep the faith.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance. Now, one thing I will point out, you've already lost the Bears, so that doesn't help you in terms of tiebreakers. It would be really something if, like, you and the Packers end up with the exact same record, because then, like, how do you break that tie? Like, because you guys
common
tied,
opponents.
So.
I guess common opponents is like the next.
Well, yeah, that's probably what it would be.
Mm.
Yeah. And you guys didn't play the 49ers, right?
Not this year. We do not play them this year. We also lost to the Panthers. The Panthers we lost to.
That's true. So that might come into play as well. But yeah. And then the Raiders, playing for the number 1 pick. So with that in mind, let's kind of transition here to where we sit currently with the playoff picture and the draft order a little bit. AFC playoffs, we've got the number 1 seed, Donnie's Denver Broncos. The 7-2 matchup right now is Jacksonville at New England. What year is it?
Well, that's back to is Blake Bortles the quarterback again?
Is it David Garrard versus Brady? What's going on here? The 6-3 matchup is Chargers at Colts. Again, what year is it? And 5-4 matchup is the Bills at Steelers. Those two teams actually do play here in a couple of weeks. I've mentioned that. In the NFC, the 1 seed is the team with who we will not speak. 7-2, 49ers at Rams. If that ends up being the 7-2 game, don't count the 49ers out. They've
already beat them this year.
Yeah, so I mean, with Mac Jones, not even with Purdy. Then 6-3, you've got Packers at Bears. And then 5-4, Seahawks at Buccaneers. I tell you what, if those are the 3 matchups, I think all of the lower seeded teams might win, honestly. Or they have a chance.
You can see it happening at least.
You can see it happening, yeah, for sure. Seahawks at Bucks would be an interesting game, I think. Did they play? Yeah, they played. Yeah, they played. Yeah, they had that really good game in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
The one where I think Seattle ended up winning, but Baker had like one of his better games of the year.
Right.
Yeah. And then for the draft, your top 10 right now from 1 to 10, Titans, Giants, Browns, Saints, Jets, Raiders, Commanders, Rams, because they have the Falcons pick, Bengals and Cardinals. Your Cowboys right now sitting at 13th, right in that meaty part of the curve. The Rams. The Rams, they're going to end up drafting Mendoza or Ty Simpson or Dante Moore because of the Falcons. Like, they're going to get their, like, this is insanity. Whatever.
What I love is that all of the top 10 drafting teams right now have 3 wins or fewer, like this late into the season.
Yeah. Well, that I was thinking about this. So I think part of the challenge this year is like the difference between the good teams and the bad teams is like vast.
There's not a lot of middle class. There's not a lot of like the middle class. Like, I would say that the Cowboys are probably like a middle class team. The Panthers and Texans probably a middle class team. I would say the Lions are probably on the upper middle class into that. Like there's like a good way to There's like 3 middle class teams, and then everybody else is either really really good or sucks. That's about where we are.
That's what it is, man. I can't disagree with you there. Be really interested to see how the rest of the season plays out. But yeah, I agree with you. A lot of good, a lot of bad, not a lot of
in between. Yeah.
All right, week 12. This is the second to last week of teams with byes. So we've got this week, we've got 4 teams on a bye. Week 13, no teams are on a bye because it's Thanksgiving. And then week 14, so 2 weeks from now, we've got the last, I think it's 4 teams on a bye that week. So, but for this week, on a bye, I ran this one by Donnie, so he approved. Tom Jackson presents the Broncos bye week. Tom Jackson, of course, went on to be an ESPN play-by-play or analyst. The Chargers bye week brought to you by Dick Deegan. The Dolphins bye week brought to you by O.J. McDuffie. Not that O.J., the other O.J. And the Commanders bye week brought to you by Dick Todd. So Commanders and Dolphins obviously coming back from España. All right, Thursday night. Let's get into it. Tywan Jones presents Bills at Texans. The Texans getting 5.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Bills, and I'm going with Bills 9.
We should point out that they have confirmed C.J. Stroud will not play in this game.
They have, yes.
So Davis Mills will be getting the start. I will be taking the Bills minus 5.5, and I have Bills at a 8.
All right, so we're pretty close there.
Yeah.
Pretty closely aligned. Bills at an 8. Okay. Up next, we've got Le'Veon Bell, presents Jets at Ravens. Ravens laying 13.5. I'm laying the points with the Ravens, and I've got Ravens at a 14.
I have Ravens minus 13.5 and Ravens 12.
All right, give me 1 second here. Ravens and Ravens 12. Okay. Up next, I just had it when I saw this name. I knew I had to use it. Eggs Mansky presents Scrambled Eggs Mansky.
He's got the CTE.
Oh yeah, right. He presents Steelers at Bears. The Bears are the home favorite here, laying 3.5. I'm going to take the points with the Steelers. You're gonna think I'm crazy, buddy. I'm going Steelers 10.
I have Steelers plus 3.5, and I have Bears too. So I think this is I don't have a lot of confidence in the Bears to pull this out.
This is one of those where I was doing all the other games, and this one just ended up at 10. And I was like, well, sure, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, up next, White Graves. Since Patriots at Bengals, Bengals are getting 8.5. I'm laying the 8.5 with the Patriots, and I'm taking Patriots at 11.
You know, this must be a biblical name. There's a passage in Scripture where Jesus calls the Pharisees whitewashed tombs. So this is
there you go.
This must be White Graves. So who did you take in this?
Laid the points with the Patriots.
I will also take the Patriots minus 8.5.
And I did Patriots at 11.
Okay, turn it up to 11. I also have Patriots at 11.
There you go.
More at 11.
All right, up next, Milt Plum. We got some names this week.
Was he a professor? Because he could be from Clue. He could be Professor Plum.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Professor Plum. Yeah. The Giants are in Detroit. They're going to need more than a candlestick to win this game. Lions minus 10.5. I'm laying the points with the Lions, and I'm going Lions 12. And real quick, before you give me your picks, I did a little research here. So the Lions have lost 2 games this year. I'm sorry, 3 games now. The previous 2 games, after a loss, so they lost week 1 to the Packers. Week 2, they beat the Bears 52-21. Then they lost later in the year to the Vikings, right? The game McCarthy came back. Mm-hmm. The following week, they beat the Commanders 44-22. So I've got a feeling that they're going to cover this 10.5 pretty easily.
Since they're the Lions, would you say you've got a feline?
I got a feline, yes. No dart this week, right?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any confirmation. Well,
what are your pick? What are you picking?
I'm going to, on this side of the feline, I am taking the Lions minus 10.5, and I have Lions 13.
Alrighty. Sehr gut. All right. Up next, another NFC North battle here. Speaking of the Vikings, Bryce Pop, one of the great linebacker names of the 90s, presents Vikings at Packers. Packers laying 6.5. I am taking the 6.5 with the Vikings. Looks like you are as well.
We're on the. Have we picked a different game? Any different teams yet? We haven't. We're perfectly. We're in sync this week, Paul.
Now I am picking the Packers in the confidence, but I'm only going to a 5 with this.
Packers 9.
Alrighty. Up next, big game, probably the game of the week. One of the games of the week. Cotton Davidson, not Cotton Dockers, but Cotton Davidson.
Not Cotton Eye Joe.
Colts at Chiefs. Not Cotton Eye Joe. Colts at Chiefs. Chiefs laying 3.5. Chiefs got to have this one. I'm going Chiefs minus 3.5. Chiefs 6.
I have Chiefs minus 3.5. And Chiefs 5.
Chiefs 5. All right, up next, last early game here. Our good friend Trang, her Seattle Seahawks, traveling to Tennessee. This one presented by Jordan Babineau. Titans are getting 12.5 points. I am going to take the 12.5 with Tennessee, but I cannot in good conscience take the Titans to win this game, so I'm going to take Seattle at a 1.
Okay, I have Seahawks minus 12.5, and I have Seahawks 14.
I was going to say, yeah. And the reason I'm taking Seahawks at a 1 is out of respect for our friend Trang.
Can't curse her.
So listen, Trang. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If the Seahawks lose to the Titans, it's not my fault. Oh, man. I'm going to regret this. All right. Well, moving on.
At least it's only 1 point.
First. Yeah, at least it's only 1 point.
So in honor of the Cowboys had one of their passing touchdowns this week go to Ryan Flournoy, who also wears number 19. Ryan Flournoy was also good friends with Marshawn Nealand.
Okay.
And so paying respect to him, I chose the other Cowboys receiver who wore number 19, not Lance Allworth, but Miles Austin, to present Eagles at Cowboys. The Cowboys are home dogs getting 3.5. I will lay the 3.5 with the Eagles, and I will take the Eagles at a 3.
All right, so I am also laying the points with the Eagles. So far our only mismatch is Titans Seahawks, right?
Which tell me you wouldn't pick the Seahawks if you.
Again, I'm taking the points with the Titans. I'm picking the Seahawks to win in the confidence, but I'm just taking the 12.5.
But let me ask you, if we didn't want to jinx our good friend Trang,
no, you're right.
Laying those points.
You're right. I'm taking Eagles laying the 3.5, and I'm taking Eagles at a 13. You're welcome. All right, up next, the only person who could present this next game, Bobby Hebert, Hebert, presents Falcons at Saints. Don't adjust your TV sets, boys and girls. Saints are laying 2.5 here. I'm taking the points with the Falcons, and I'm taking the Falcons at a 4. What you got, buddy? I will say,
I'm back and forth on this.
I meant. So while you're thinking about that, the Saints currently sit at 2-8. They have 7 games left. They play the Falcons twice. They play the Bucs again. They play the Panthers again. Their other 3 games, Brandon, are Dolphins, Jets, Titans. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Saints are going to win all 7 of those games. But I don't think they're going to lose all 7 of those games. So if you're a Saints fan, you have hopes of a number one pick overall. I don't think it's going to happen.
This game's in New Orleans. This game's in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, yes.
And Kirk Cousins is playing. The Falcons are without their top receiver,
Drake London.
I'm going to take the Saints minus the points. And I will take the Saints at a 4.
Okay. Now, I will also mention Saints are coming off their bye.
That's another point in their
favor. All right, up next, Thurston Armbrister. I had to pick that name. I mean, my gosh. And by the way, that's his government name. I looked at it. That's not a nickname. Well, I guess nobody would nickname themselves Thurston. But anyway, Jaguars at Cardinals. Cardinals are getting 2.5. I must be missing something here. I'm laying the 2.5 with the Jaguars, and I'm taking Jaguars at a 7 because that 2.5 just doesn't feel like enough points. But
yeah, I'm also on the Jags. Jags 10.
Jags 1-0. All right, up next, somebody's got to win. Browns at Raiders. This one brought to you by Elvis Franks.
That's not necessarily true, Paul.
That's true.
Someone doesn't have to win.
That's true. That's true. You are correct. Your team has taught us that you don't always have to win. You can always tie. But Browns at Raiders. This one brought to you by Elvis Franks, because who else could present this game? I'm laying the points with the Raiders, and I'm going Raiders at a 3. I initially took the Browns, and then I remembered Shador was starting.
I watched Geno Smith play behind that offensive line. Myles Garrett is going to kill. He is going to put. He's going to put Geno Smith 10 feet below the turf in that game. So I'm taking the Browns plus the points. Did you lay the points with the Raiders?
I laid the points with the Raiders, and I took Raiders at a 3.
Okay, so I'm taking the points with the Browns, and I am taking Browns 1.
There you go.
So Shador, congratulations. Get your first win as a starter.
All right. Sunday night. Really good game Sunday night. Tampa Bay at the Rams. This one brought to you by Yo Murphy. The Rams are laying 6.5. I am taking the 6.5 with the Bucks, but I am taking the Rams at an 8.
Okay, you taking the Rams? Or are you taking the Bucks?
I'm taking the points with the Bucks, but I'm picking the Rams to win in the confidence.
Okay, I am taking I'm laying the points with the Rams, and I am taking Rams 6.
All right. Last but not least, and this is a Monday night game that a couple weeks ago I would have thought this has got to get flexed out, right? At the beginning of the season, this game's got to be flexed out. But here we are. David Carr presents Panthers at 49ers. Fun little fact about David Carr. You know what his middle name is? Duke.
Well, good thing he's got a last name.
Yeah, exactly. So just do with that what you will.
If you took away his first name, then he would be the General Lee, the Duke Carr.
That's right. You never miss, I swear. 49ers are laying 7.5. I'm taking the 7.5 with the Panthers, and I'm taking Panthers at a 2.
I'm taking Panthers plus 7.5, and I am taking the 49ers at a 7.
So we did end up disagreeing on a couple of these games. Let me see here. So week 12, we're going head to head on 4 games.
And 2 of those, but to be fair, 2 of those were the Seahawks and the Saints games. So
right.
Yeah. But other than that, we were pretty in lockstep this week.
If the Titans somehow cover against the Seahawks and the Seahawks win, I'm going to feel really good. But I'm not going to.
The fact that we were in lockstep in the way our picks have looked, that means we're both going down the drain this week. That's what that really.
By the way, so I mentioned you won head to head this past week 6-4 or 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
For the season head to head, you're up 38-31.
Oh.
in the spring.
Not bad.
So, all right. We now have to do our Georgia's getting upset. All right. So last week,
I think I hit this. I think I actually hit this week.
Yeah. So I had Raiders over Cowboys. That did not hit. You had Bears over Vikings. That did hit. You for the season are 4-7. I am 5-6. So since you got yours right last week, I will let you choose first.
Okay, I'm going to take the. I'll tell you what. I will take the Browns over the Raiders.
Let's see. For what it's worth, you have taken the Browns as an upset once before in Week 5. It did not work. For what that's worth. All right. So for me, let me see here. I don't know how many. I don't think I took a lot of points. I've got one I'm considering.
You got the Panthers.
Yeah, that's one. That was the one I was thinking.
You also took the Steelers plus 3.5 is another one that you had.
That's you know what? That's the one I'm going to go. I'm going to go Steelers over Bears because if I'm wrong, then our good friend Andy at least will get a win for his team. So I'll go Steelers over Bears.
You won't have to feel too embarrassed.
That's right. All right. Up next are Jerry. It's a lock. All right. So we both hit our locks last week. I had Rams over Seahawks. You had Packers over Giants. For the season on locks, I am 9-2. You are 10-1. So again, I will defer to you for first.
I will go with
Seahawks over Titans.
Every time I see the Titans, I'm like, that's too easy. Yeah. I will take the Ravens over Jets.
Okay,
I know picking the Ravens to as a lock is a little dicey, but
all right, you're going Ravens over Jets. Do I dare go Chiefs over Colts?
How about those Patriots over Bengals?
Patriots. That's another one I was considering. You know what? Based on what I said earlier, my little research I did today, I'm gonna go Lions over Giants.
I was about to say that was the other one I was gonna list. I was gonna say because those are right next to each other.
The last time I did Lions as my lock, they lost
to the Vikings. Was that to the Vikings? Take them over the Vikings.
So we'll see. I mean, I could be setting myself up for disappointment here, but we'll see.
Should have told you to take the Eagles over the Cowboys. You helped me with the Raiders.
I thought about it. I did think about it. I did consider it. But alas, I did not. Excuse me. Did I want to? Oh, you know what? While we're here, I just have this pulled up right here. We did our playoff picks before the season. You want to know how we're looking so far? So we both had the Bills in the AFC East.
Okay, good.
We both had the Ravens in the AFC North.
Still alive. Well, the Bills might not even win the AFC East at this point. They're probably not.
That's what I'm saying. In the AFC South, I had the Texans. You had the Jags. You're looking better than I am, which neither one of us might be right, but you look better than I am. AFC West, we both had the Chiefs. Not ideal. We both had the Broncos as a wild card.
Okay,
not bad.
We'll take it.
We both had the Bengals as a wild card. Not good.
Nope.
I had the Steelers. You had the Chargers. So
I think you're a little better. Well, I don't know.
You're probably
both in pretty rough shape, though.
Well, because the Chargers beat the Steelers, right?
That's right. That's true. They have that. Yeah, so they have the tiebreaker.
In the NFC, we both had the Eagles in the East. That looks pretty good. We both had the Packers in the North. That's not great right now. We both had the Bucks in the South, so that's I had the Seahawks in the West. You had the 49ers. Both respectable there, I would say.
Right.
We both had the Bears and Rams in the playoffs.
Okay, so that's
as wild
good.
cards.
Good.
I had the Niners as a wild card. You had the Lions as a wild card. So I feel like we're NFC. We're doing a little better than the
absolutely
in the AFC. We both had Bills Packers in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
it's still that could still happen. Like
it could still happen.
It's not dead.
Do you remember who you picked as the worst regular season record?
I think I had a couple of teams with a lot of losses, and the Titans. I think it was the Titans and the Browns.
Well, you had the one I have listed for you is the Browns.
Okay.
I had the Saints, which not going to happen. I don't think. Best regular season record. You had the Chiefs. I had the Bills. I don't think either one of those is going to happen. So, but no. And then what do we do? I know our MVPs. Yeah, I had Jordan Love. You had Brock Purdy. Nope. Coach of the year. Remember who your coach of the year was?
Pete Carroll.
Yep. I had Sean McDermott. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I thought he would make them respectable, and like that would be enough. Like that was my.
Listen, I thought it was fine too. Offensive player of the year. We both had Jamar Chase. Yeah, not going to
happen. We really spit the bit on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Defensive player of the year. I had Aiden Hutchinson. You had Will Anderson. Feels like it's a Myles Garrett award.
It feels like it's his to lose.
Offensive rookie of the year. I had Cam Ward. You had Ashton Genty. I think it's Ibuka or
Dart.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Dart. I would have said Scatterboo, but he's
hurt. Yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah, no rookies really. I mean, Ibuka was kind of running away with it, but then he got hurt.
Right. Yeah.
A defensive rookie of the year, we both had Abdul Carter. I haven't.
Is
kept
he
up
still
with
the
him.
favorite? I will say, like if you compare his numbers to Ezeraku right now, like Ezeraku actually has like slightly better numbers at this point. I don't know if that's going to be enough to like win the award, but
let me pull up rebet here. Okay, defensive rookie of the year. Oh, he is not the betting favorite. You want to know who is? You would never get. You just did you look at it?
Is it Carson Schwessinger?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I pulled up. I was
linebacker from Cleveland. Nick Emanwari is second best odds, and he's 7-1. Your guy Ezeraku is actually better odds than Abdul Carter.
Really? What's he at?
12-1. Abdul Carter's 18-1.
That's some sweet action.
Some sweet action. But I tell you what, man, Emanwari, the last couple of times I've watched the Seahawks, he's jumped out on the screen to me.
Yeah, like he like the fact that he's in he landed in the right spot. You know how some guys like end up in like the spot that is going to maximize their specific skill set. Like that's where Emanwari ended up. Like this is the perfect spot for him.
So the four best odds for offensive rookie of the year: Ibuka is -105, Dart plus 224. Tet McMillan, who we haven't really mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
He's 4-1, and Tyler Warren is plus 490. So
the tight end. Yeah, I feel like Tet's kind of come on a little lately.
He has.
I think probably partially by his own performance, but also partially helped by the fact that Ibuka is missing time. But Tet's starting to like. It seems like Bryce has figured out, hey, I can just throw this guy the ball. And good things happen.
We also talked about MVP last week. Stafford's the betting favorite, plus 134. The Drake's at plus 176.
Well, I think the Drake was actually in the lead for a little bit, too.
He was, I think. I just don't see them giving it to him. He really would have to.
Too early, right?
Too early, especially considering the season Stafford's had. And then, like, if the Rams somehow end up the 1 seed, which is tough because the Eagles already beat them. So, like, the tiebreaker's not going their way. But Jonathan Taylor, minus 429 for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
You want to talk about a lock. Unless Jonathan Taylor could blow out both his knees right now and probably still win that award.
I will say JSN at plus 238 for Offensive Player of the Year. He's 18-1.
He's comeback player, but he's going to win the comeback player of the year award. He's a lot for that.
Probably. AFC conference winner. I'm guessing they mean not the 1 seed, but like the representative in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that means winner of the AFC Championship game.
Okay, they have. Do you want to know who the betting favorite is, or do you have it pulled up?
It's got to be the Chiefs.
Bills plus 390.
Really?
Chiefs are plus 490. The Colts are plus 410.
That's some sweet action.
Broncos plus 570. The Patriots are plus 660. Sweet action there. You want to guess the Steelers number for the AFC conference winner?
Plus 1,200.
How about plus 4,400?
Ooh. Okay.
They have worse odds. They have worse odds than the Texans right now for the AFC conference winner. NFC, Eagles plus 246. Rams plus 280. Seahawks plus 580. Sweet action there.
I have a
first
bet
time
on the
Super Bowl winner.
I think I placed a bet on the Seahawks to do something. Hold on. Oh,
all right, while you're looking that up. First,
I have Seahawks plus 1,200 to win the Super Bowl.
There you go. So Trang, not my fault. So, first time Super Bowl winner. Bengals, Bills, Browns, Cardinals, Chargers, Falcons, Jaguars, Lions, Panthers, Texans, Titans, or Vikings. Plus 340. So obviously Bengals are done, Browns are done, Cardinals are done, Falcons are done, Titans, and probably the Vikings are done.
What
so
is no?
You're really
like
looking
minus,
at
what is it? Minus 500 for like no.
Minus 461 for no.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, I don't know. You got a shot. If it ends up being Bills Lions Super Bowl, then you're in good shape. Well, Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, minus 113. Shane Steichen, plus 168.
Oh, Steichen's
Comeback
moved down
player
because Steichen was like minus 150 a couple of weeks ago when I looked.
Yeah, but I mean, Patriots winning 8 in a row. Well, we'll do that. And real quick, comeback player of the year, you mentioned.
Chance to throw some money on there.
On Steichen?
Yeah, it's just because like you're getting plus money. I still think he's got a good shot to win that.
Yeah, I agree. Comeback player of the year, you mentioned it. McCaffrey, minus 132. Your guy, Dak Prescott, plus 140.
Really?
Yeah. Was he? Yeah, I guess he is coming back from an injury. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he had the. Was that the muscle off the bone thing that he had last year? Was that what happened?
Sounds right.
It
sounds like a thing. Eagles to win the NFC East, minus 20,000.
20,000. That is steep.
And the Giants odds are actually better than the Commanders. The Giants are 380 to 1. Commanders are 400 to 1.
What are we at? 300? 330?
50 to 1. 50 to 1.
50 to 1 to win the NFC East?
Plus 5,000.
Really? That's some sweet action right there.
That's some sweet action, buddy. The Saints are 1 plus 14,000 to win the NFC South. What's the Saints over under right now? Let me see what this is. Curious. Saints. Okay, the 4.5 is the number. Over 4.5 for the Saints right now is minus 166.
Wow.
They have 2 wins. So they only got to win 3 more out of the 7 games I mentioned earlier, which
your division is pretty bad. So that's
and their other 3 games are Dolphins, Jets, and Titans. So there's 3 wins right there. Possible. I'm telling you, man, I really hope Shuck plays well because they're not getting that quarterback next year. They're not going to have a pick to get that quarterback.
So when you were saying the Giants and Commanders odds, I thought you were saying they were plus 380 and plus 400. No,
I'm saying 140 to yeah. No, I'm saying
this makes a lot. This makes a lot more sense. This makes a lot more sense now that I was like, I can get the Cowboys at 5,000 to 1 or plus or 50. Yeah, 5,000 to 1. I was like, oh wait, no. I'm misinterpreting.
50 to 1. 50 to 1.
50-1. Okay.
Which is still, I mean, it's not. So what? $20 get you 1,000?
Yeah. I mean, if they win this Sunday, like, you got to figure those odds will go up. That's gonna.
I would think. Yeah, I mean, if they win Sunday, and then the Eagles lose to the Bears on Black Friday, then it's like
Then we're cooking.
You're cooking with grease at that point.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see. We'll talk about it when we preview next week, but like I just don't see the Chiefs losing on Thanksgiving to the Cowboys, like, because the Chiefs are in must-win. They're in must-win mode. They got to.
I mean, they were in must-win mode against the Broncos this week, though. So, like,
that's true.
So,
what would, if you were the Chiefs at this? Well, I mean, you're going to try to win, obviously, but like, you're not thinking about the division at this point. Like, the Broncos pretty much have it.
You just want to get to the playoffs.
Okay. Well, we just want to get to another week of football here. So hopefully everybody has a good week. Hopefully my picks are a little better.
Hopefully our picks are a little better.
Can't get much worse.
Especially in the college, you need to pick it back up, Paul.
I do. Hopefully when we reconvene next week, I put a little space between you and I.
2 games.
So we will see everybody next week. Hey, next week we'll be getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So coming up on Thanksgiving. You know what else we're coming up on, buddy? Is Festivus.
Oh, that's right.
It's around the corner. Gotta get the pole out of the crawl space.
Just over a month away.
Yeah. So we'll be airing some grievances, as if we don't do that already. But
I know we got plenty of grievances aired on here.
Yeah, but until next week, happy football, everybody.
Happy football.